Good afternoon and welcome to coverage of the Premier League encounter. It's Luton Town against Manchester United at Kenilworth Road. Kick-off is very much fast approaching. 7 minutes till kick-off. And there's been some very late team news in this match for Luton Town. And to give us the team news for both and how many changes both teams have made, I can hand over to your match commentator. It's Paul James.
Thank you, Ross. Good afternoon, Commentary Hub listeners. So wherever you are in the world, good evening, good morning. Yes, there has been some changes, starting with Luton Town. Reece Burke has dropped out to the bench, and he is replaced by Taden Nengi. Jordan Clark is dropping to the bench and will be replaced by Tahith Chong. The late change comes from leading goal scorer Elijah Adebayo. He's pulled out with an injury during warm-ups, and replacing him is Paulie Woodrow. As for Manchester United, will they keep faith in the side that beat Aston Villa 2-1 at Villa Park on February the 11th? No changes there. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Paul, and we'll be back with Paul. Plenty of time for kick-off in this Premier League encounter. Earlier on today in the Premier League, we've already seen the game. Well, I've already seen the game, don't I? Well, I've already seen the game being played this Sunday afternoon. Kicked off at 2 p.m. at Bramhall Lane, and it was a bad day at the office for Chris Wilder and Sheffield United. They lost 5-0 to Brighton and Hove Albion. That's good news for Burnley fans out there. It was Buonanotte, Welbeck, obviously no goal, and a Dingray with a brace in this. Completed the scoring. Mason Holgate was sent off on 13 minutes for a very bad challenge, knee-eye challenge it was, on one of the Sheffield United defenders, on one of the Brighton, on Kyle Mitomu was actually from the Sheffield United defender, Mitomu, and he was lucky that he didn't catch him with a 2-footer there, because if he had done, and I'm going to be one of the pundits on the TV coverage, it probably would have been a leg breaker and end of season breaker for end of his career for Kyle Mitoma. So luckily he was able to continue in the game. He did come off a little bit later on in the match, and Ansu Fati, who came on for Brighton late on in the game. But good to see Mitoma was able to continue after that nasty challenge they had to get involved with that one. Ben Osborne had the goal disallowed for Sheffield United offside, and he was offside as well. Correct call from the officials there. Quickly run through the WSL full-time scores. They finished Brighton 0, Liverpool 1, Everton 2, West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Aston Villa 2. 64 minutes on the clock in this game is Leicester City 3, Bristol City 2 in that game. That kicked off at 3 p.m. UK time. In the Women's Championship, results to tell you about there. London City Lionesses 2, Durham 2, Sunderland 4, Lewes 3, Birmingham 1, Southampton 2, and Crystal Palace 4, Blackburn Rovers 0. Charlton against Reading, match postponed in that one due to a waterlogged pitch. There is some other games taking place across the major leagues in Europe today. I'll tell you about all those matches later on as well. One result in the Scottish Premiership today. We finished St Johnstone 0, Rangers 3. Rangers now top of the Scottish Premiership table with their win today. The teams are about to emerge, or coming out of the tunnel. They're out onto the pitch right now, in fact, and it's time for me to hand over to your match commentary team, or match commentator for this match. It's over, and good friend, it's over to you, PJ, Paul James.
Thank you, Ross, and good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Kenilworth Road. It's going to be an absolute crunching match as far as Luton are concerned. Well, they need a win to pull themselves 4 points clear of Everton as they take on Crystal Palace tomorrow. So it's vital that Luton pick up something from this game. Otherwise, Everton can get out the relegation zone with a win at Crystal Palace tomorrow. Looking at the Luton Town, manager Rob Edwards has already had a difficult morning so far. in warm-ups, Elijah Adebayo got injured and pulled out, and he's Luton's leading scorer. So let's take a look at the Luton Town team, starting with Thomas Kaminski in goal. Amari Bell, Gabriel Osho, and Tayden Mengi are your three centre-backs. Alfie Doherty, Ross Barkley, Albert Sambi-Lakongo and Tahith Chung make up the midfield. Carlton Morris, he's the captain. Chidozie Ogbene and Corley Woodrow make up Luton Town's starting 11. For Manchester United, of course, unchanged following their victory at Villa Park. Start with Andre Onana in goal. Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Rafael Varane and Diogo Dalot are your back four. Holding midfielders are Casemiro and Kobe Mainu. Marcus Rashford, the captain Bruno Fernando, and Alejandro Garnacho is playing behind the front three. Playing behind the front man Rasmus Højlund, who has 5 goals in 5 games. Substitutes starting with Luton: Tim Krul, the goalkeeper, Issa Kabore, Reece Burke, Luke Berry, Kelly Ruddock and Panzu back from his performance with the Democratic Republic of Congo in AFCON. Jordan Clark, Andros Townsend, Zach Nelson, 18 years of age, could make his league debut for Luton if he comes on today. And finally, the replacement for Corley Woodrow on the bench is Dan Hart. For Manchester United, they have Altai Bayinda, the substitute goalkeeper, Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans, Sofyan Amrabat, Christian Eriksen, the leading scorer, Scott McTominay, Amari Thorson, Ahmad Diallo and Anthony, should they need him. The referee today is David Coote, and he's from Nottinghamshire, and he's the son of former Nottinghamshire cricketer David Coote Sr. David was promoted to the Select Group 1 officials in 2018. It's actually the second time he's taken charge of a match involving Luton Town. The first was on the opening weekend when Luton lost 4-1 on the road to Brighton. And he is joined on the lines by Simon Bennett and Tim Wood. The fourth official is Tony Harrington, and Stuart Atwell and Dan Cook are in VAR. We've already had some interesting VAR decisions this weekend. Let's hope for no more. And this is the first meeting at Kenilworth Road between the two teams in almost 32 years. The last one finished with us a 1-1 draw in 1992. The game is underway with Luton Town in their orange jerseys, black shorts and orange socks, attacking the goal to our right. Manchester United in their white shirts, white shorts and black socks. And here's Ogbeni now with a cross. It's headed out to the edge of the area. Carlton Morris just heads it on to Ross Barkley, and it's cleared away that time by Rafael Varane. And Manchester United. Oh, there's a mistake here, and Rasmus Højlund is in one-on-one. Can he punish Luton here? He can! And it's 1-0 to Manchester United inside the first minute. And Rasmus Højlund continues his goal scoring with now 6 in 6 games. Oh, it was a dreadful error at the back. And Luton Town punished by Rasmus Højlund. And it is 1-0. And we'll just take a look at this again. It just seemed to come from nowhere. The ball was cleared away from Rafael Varane inside his own half. And it looks like chasing this one back. I just can't quite see who that was. It might have been Mengi. And it's a shocking piece of defending. And we'll just take a look at it again. It's actually Amari Bell. It's a poor back pass by Amari Bell. And it just goes straight to Rasmus Højlund, who rounds the goalkeeper and puts it into the net. And Manchester United take a goal lead in the first minute of this game. And, well, the way I see this is a terrible start for Luton Town. This is definitely not what they want. And media radio jingles and games says, hi Ross, yes, I'm tuning in once again. Hi, how's it going? Hope you enjoyed the show today. Hope we can bring you lots of goals and a good game of football. As here's Osho. Plays it to Amari Bell. The ball is played forward to Ross Barkley and to Alfie Doherty. And here's Chong. Chong getting into the penalty area down the left-hand side. And the cross comes in and it goes over everybody's head and out of play as Tahith Chong looking to get Luton back into this game immediately. Well, what a start for Manchester United. And this is the last thing that Rob Edwards needed. Already lost his leading goal scorer to injury today in the warm-ups. It's turning out to be not such a good day for Rob Edwards today, as Erik ten Hag will feel a lot more comfortable more recently with Manchester United's performances. Manchester United have improved so much in the last few weeks. Victories against Aston Villa, West Ham, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and a draw with Spurs in the last 4 games. So they've looked pretty sharp. Luton Town, of course, are coming off a defeat to Sheffield United, who are at the bottom right now. Here is Luke Shaw, just inside the Luton Town half of the field. He takes a throw in and he hands it there to Kobe Mainoo. Mainoo just gets away from Mengi, but he runs the ball out of play, and it's going to be... Perhaps that just came off Mengi. This might be a corner to Manchester United. Indeed it is. It's a corner to Manchester United. And, excuse me, it's going to be taken down this left-hand side by Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw looks like he's going to outswing this one. Indeed he does. The heads go up and it's bouncing around inside the penalty area, and Casemiro trying to get on the end of it. In the end, it's Chong that clears it, but only as far as Luke Shaw. And it's headed out again, this time by Ogbene. And now Manchester United win the ball back just inside the Luton half of the field, and it's Kobe Mainoo. Drop to Dalot. Dalot plays the ball forward here to Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho cuts in the penalty area on the right-hand side. Pull back to Rashford on the edge of the area with a shot, and it's a good save that time by Kaminski, as Manchester United knocking on the door and looking for a second. And Rasmus Højlund, with that 6th goal in 6 games, is the youngest ever player to score in 6 Premier League games in a row. And here's Garnacho again down the right-hand side. He gives it to Fernandes, who gets the cross in, but that's a good block by Amari Bell, and it goes behind for the corner as Luton find themselves on the back foot in the first 5 minutes at Kenilworth Road. And we just look again at that shot by Rashford. It took a deflection off Mengi, actually, and it almost diverted it past Kaminski. It's a good piece of goalkeeping by him. We've had 5 minutes gone, and we've already had a goal. It's Luton Town 0, Manchester United 1, and the Red Devils are looking for a second. The corner now swung in and headed out that time, but only as far as Garnacho. Garnacho drops the ball to Luke Shaw. Shaw launches the ball into the penalty area. Good work by Doherty there, who gets on the end of that and knocks the ball out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in midway inside the Luton half of the field, down the left-hand side. We take a look at Erik ten Hag. And this throw-in is going to be taken by Luke Shaw. Takes all throw-ins down the left-hand side. Here is Rashford. He tries to look for Bruno Fernandes, but it breaks loose to Mainoo. And again, here's Luke Shaw. Shaw just plays the ball forward. It's a dummy, and here's Bruno Fernandes. Oh, that's a good challenge that time by Gabriel Osho. And that's a vital challenge. Otherwise, Bruno Fernandes was in there as he played a little dummy from the pass from Luke Shaw. And then it was knocked on by Rashford, but that's well read by Gabriel Osho, just getting his foot on that. That's a vital challenge. And it's going to be another corner to Manchester United down the left-hand side again, which Luke Shaw will take. It's all Manchester United early on here. The cross swings in, it's headed away there. And back to Garnacho with a shot. In the goal, it's 2-0. Alejandro Garnacho. And it looks like it took a deflection, and within 6 minutes, this game has already gotten away from Luton Town as Manchester United are on fire. Alejandro Garnacho with a shot. It just seemed to take a deflection which diverted it into the corner. And well, I'm quite shocked at this start, to be quite honest. The corner came in here. It was headed out there by Barkley. Garnacho hits it on the volley right on the 18-yard line, and it actually took a deflection by Rasmus Højlund. Let's just take a look at this now. Now, was it on target, or is it going to be Højlund's goal? This may well go down as Højlund's goal, because the shot was off target. So yes, I think this is going to go down to Rasmus Højlund, to be honest. So Rasmus Højlund is going to get the goal here, which means 7 goals in 6 games. He's claiming offside is Kaminski. We haven't had any review from VAR. And we're just going to need to just see whether VAR is going to get involved in this or not. And no, they're not. So that second goal stands, and it's a second goal for Rasmus Højlund. He had a slow start in the Premier League, but my goodness, has he come to life now, and he's really paying back Manchester United on the investment that they've put into it. And now Manchester United clear the ball with Raphael Varane. Forward to Højlund. He miscues that, and it's cleared by Mendy. Excuse me. And the ball is now with Ogbene. Ogbene tries to skip away from 4 Manchester United players, but it's won back by Maguire. No foul, says our referee David Kuhn. And now Rashford over the halfway line, down the left-hand side. Drops the ball back there to Bruno Fernandes, who gives it back to Luke Shaw. And it's now with Maguire, and Maguire drops it back to Andre Onana. First touch of the ball for the Cameroonian goalkeeper as he clears it downfield. Højlund just not able to control it, and it's picked up by Ross Barkley, who gives the ball to Albert Sambi-Lokonga to Chong. Chong drops the ball down this near side there to cut for Coley Woodrow, the late replacement. And here's Doherty now down the left-hand side. Can he get the cross in? Up it is on Bene, but it goes over his head, and it's going to be cleared away that time by Marcus Rashford. It goes all the way through to Kaminsky. And it's now down this right-hand side with Mengi, who drops it back to Osho. Osho gives the ball to Amari Bell. Amari Bell to Ross Barkley. Albert Sambi-Lokonga. Barkley. Forward to Chong, and he just drops it back now to Sambi-Lokonga, as Luton for the first time have a prolonged period of possession. And there's Woodrow. And he just drops it back to Albert Sambi-Lokonga. And here is Doherty now, plays the ball across to Morris. Back to Doherty, and that's intercepted there by Harry Maguire. And Manchester United on the break with Marcus Rashford. Oh, he's so quick, he's got Garnacho on the far side. If he can find him, he has a shot as Rashford instead. And he puts it wide on the left-hand side of the goalkeeper, Kaminsky. And it is a goal kick, but look at how quick Manchester United break here. And it's Marcus Rashford just looking for options right and left. Instead, he goes for the shot. It might have been better playing the pass to Garnacho because it would have put the Argentinian through. But he went for the shot instead, did Rashford. And it's a goal kick. So it's taken quickly, and it's played long now to Tapi's Chong, but dealing with that at the back is Raphael Varane. Good work by him. He gives it back now to the goalkeeper, Onana, who clears the ball downfield, and it's won by Amari Bell to Barkley. Barkley gives the ball to Doherty. Doherty down the left-hand side. He's got some space in front of him. He gives the ball back to Chong. Chong has got Morris in the middle. Gives it back to Doherty. Can Doherty get across in here? Oh, he can, and it's headed away by Maguire. Only as far as Amari Bell, who just shields the ball away from Garnacho, and it goes out of play for a throw-in down the left-hand side, midway inside the Manchester United half the field. And it's now with Amari Bell. Just drops it. It's been the centre circle now, and he just gives the ball down this right-hand side to Tayden Mengi. Mengi gets the ball back off Sambi-Lokonga. Mengi goes back to the goalkeeper, and Luton will start again from the back with Kaminsky, who gives the ball to Amari Bell. 2-0 to Manchester United. 11 minutes gone here. And here's Barkley. Barkley gives the ball to Albert Sambi-Lokonga. Lokonga plays the ball forward. Oh, and Ogbene tried to just get a flick on the end of that, but he didn't get enough on it, and it just rolled through to Andre Onana in the Manchester United goal. It was an interesting idea by Sambi-Lokonga, and Chidozie could not get enough on that to try to divert it past the goalkeeper. And a free kick has been given for the foul on Garnacho by Ross Barkley. Garnacho is down right now. You're listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services, and Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports, Focus on Football, and Storm FM. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Commentary Club. And just so you know, you can also hear the Everton versus Crystal Palace game tomorrow on Focus on Football. If you want to tune into that, you won't find that on the Commentary Hub. That is a Focus on Football exclusive, but that is tomorrow for you. That battle of the teams at the bottom. And here is Albert Sambi-Lokonga, and he just plays the ball across to Amari Bell. Amari Bell, back to Bell. keeps the ball inside his own half there, and he finds Woodrow. Woodrow finds Doherty again now. Oh, Garnacho wins the ball back off him easily, slips it to Casemiro. Casemiro gives it to Hoyland. Hoyland to Kobe Mainu. Mainu just inside the Luton half of the field, down the right-hand side. Kobe Mainu gives the ball now to Garnacho. He moves to the middle. Garnacho with a shot, and it's a comfortable save for Kaminsky, as it really is open season on this Luton Town goal in the first 12 minutes of this game. And here's Doherty. He drops it back to Bell. And I'm sorry, I do have a little bit of throat trouble today. And it's Mengi. Mengi plays the ball forward, and that is a good header down there by Maguire. And the ball is turned over by Rasmus Hoyland, and Luton can now come away. And it's Chong. Chong has got options available. It's Carlton Morris in the middle, and Doherty down the left. He goes through Doherty. Doherty pulls it back to Chong. Chong turns for the shot, and it's headed in by Carlton Morris. And it's a goal back for Luton. What a game we've got on here. Carlton Morris with the header. He's the captain today for Luton, and he does a captain's job, scoring on the 14th minute. And it's a goal back for Luton Town, and what a classic we've got going on here. And it started with Chong getting the ball down the left-hand side to Alfie Doherty. Doherty gets across in. Chong appears to turn and shoot here, and it seems to just take a deflection off Harry Maguire, and that falls so kindly for Carlton Morris, who just has to head the ball past the on-rushing Andre Onana. I don't know why Onana came out, actually. He was never going to get there. And it was a simple header in the end for Carlton Morris, who just diverted it past Onana. And Luton Town are back in this game now. And it's cleared downfield all the way through to the goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminsky. If you want to get involved today, please feel free to comment. If we've got any Luton fans in or Manchester United fans in, please feel free to comment. We just ask that you keep your comments clean. That's all. No swearing. Aside from that, please feel free to comment, and I'll read them out on the air for you. It's Rasmus Hoyland. And he gives the ball to Luke Shaw. Shaw just back inside his own half there. Gives the ball to Rafael Varane. He's got Bruno Fernandes chasing that, but he's never going to reach that. And we have 62% possession in favour of Luton Town, strangely enough. 38 in favour of Manchester United, but the shots on goal, the attempts 7 for Manchester United, 1 for Luton. That's the difference here. 2-1 to Manchester United. Goals on the 1st and the 6th minute by Rasmus Hoyland. Goal back on 14 minutes by Carlton Morris. And the ball is, the throwing is taken quickly, and it's a foul on Corley Wilson by Harry Maguire. And it's going to be taken by Ross Barkley. It's about 6 yards inside the Manchester United half down the right-hand side. He goes all the way back to Amari Bell. Amari Bell plays it down the left-hand side to Alfie Doherty. Alfie Doherty cuts into the middle and gives it to Ross Barkley. To Albert Sambi-Lokonga. Gives it there to Mengi. Mengi just looking for options available. He drops back into his own half to Osho. And Osho gives it back to Kaminsky, who goes long down the left-hand side. And there is no way at all that Tahith Chong is going to get on the end of that, and it goes out for a throw-in. As we look again at the error there by Mari Bell that led in Rasmus Hoyland for the first goal, and well, Amari Bell won't be pleased with himself for that one. 4 goals in his last 6 appearances in all competitions now for Carlton Morris. And we've got a real game on our hands here. The yellow card has been flashed. I'm not sure what that was. It looks like it's been given to Corley Woodrow. Not sure exactly what for there. We'll just see. Card, Corley Woodrow, and I'm not sure what it was for. Maybe he wasn't getting back quickly enough, but it was free kick now to Manchester United, which Harry Maguire will take. He launches it into the Luton half of the field, down the left-hand side. That's won by Chong. And Mengi tries to clear the ball away again, but only as far as Dallow. Dallow launches the ball into the penalty area, goes all the way through to Marcus Rashford, who feels the clattering challenge there of Mengi, and then he in turn fouls Chidozie of Benny, and it's going to be a free kick to Luton Town. As we just look at this challenge here by Mengi. Looks like he just picked up a knock Rashford there, then a very late challenge on Chidozie of Benny. And it's going to be a free kick to Luton, which is down their right-hand side, just outside of the penalty area. It's going to be cleared now downfield by Kaminski. And headed one there by Casemiro, and then again headed out of play by Osho. And it's going to be a throw in to Manchester United down this left-hand side, which will be taken by Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw now is going to take this one. Looking for options available. He's right in front of Rob Edwards there, the Luton Town manager. And he throws it forward to Rasmus Højlund, who's always dispossessed. Is Højlund there. And here's Ross Barkley. But Højlund almost wins the ball back, but somehow Ross Barkley keeps possession. And Ross Barkley now is looking for options available. He sends Chong off on his way against Diogo Dalot. Dalot comes out better there and turns and clears that ball to Garnacho. He gives it back to Casemiro. And now Bruno Fernandes storming over the halfway line. Bruno Fernandes has got options available left and right. Fernandes is going to go, well, he tried to go down the right towards towards Kobe Mainu, but it was cleared away by Amari Bell, and it finds Chong now. Chong just turning away there from Casemiro. But the ball has been given away to Højlund, and here's Garnacho now in the penalty area. And a wonderful challenge by Amari Bell. That was a vital challenge. And that challenge there definitely helped redeem him for his earlier error. And now Benny's on the way, but he's definitely been fouled by Luke Shaw, and that will be a yellow card for the Manchester United left back. Looking at this, because Benny had gotten away from Shaw, and it was a definite interference. And yellow card for the Manchester United veteran left back. And a yellow card for Luke Shaw. And a free kick to Luton Town midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. And it's towards the right-hand side. And it's going to be taken by Ross Barkley. And Barkley's going to swing this one in. High line by Manchester United. It's outside of the 18-yard box. We just hit the 20-minute mark here at Kenilworth Road. It's Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. And it's going to be Ross Barkley who's going to swing this one in. And there's a header by Osho, but he didn't get enough on it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And you are listening to alternative commentary in the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season. JB Sports, focus on football and Storm FM. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1. Just a moment, Dalot now has got a bit of space in front of him. He gets in the penalty area, left-hand side, Diogo Dalot. Pulled to the edge of the area to Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes was not able to control it. And Chong is fouled there by Kobe Mainu, and it's going to be a free kick. Just to look there in the crowd, Harry Styles is here today to watch this game. And it's going to be a free kick to Luton Town. Yes, you can follow us on our Twitter channel at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Commentary Hub. And here is Alfie Doherty. He just drops it there back to Amari Bell, and Amari Bell goes back to Kaminski. And here's Osho. Gabriel Osho plays the ball forward, but only finds Casemiro in the centre circle. And it's now with Maguire down the left-hand side. Maguire just looking for options available. He gives it to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is going to go all the way back into his own half and goes all the way back to Andre Onana. Interesting. And Onana then gives the ball to Varane. Varane puts the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. We've had 22 minutes gone here, and well, the action's just kind of calmed down a bit as both teams kind of settled down. The score at 2-1. No real chances since the Luton Town goal for either side, really. And it's going to be a throw-in midway inside their own half of the field for Manchester United down their right-hand side. And it's going to be taken by Diogo Dalot. Dallo plays the ball forward there to Bruno Fernandes with the throw-in, and Fernandes just launched the ball into the Luton half of the field. But there is nobody waiting, and it's picked up by Kaminsky, and he gives the ball to Mengi. Mengi just looking for see what he can find here. He finds Ross Barkley just inside his own half of the field. Barkley plays it down his right-hand side to Mengi. And there is Carlton Morris, who once again goes down. He finds Albert Sambi-Lokonga. Brilliant ball down the left-hand side to Doherty. Doherty swings the ball in, and Rafael Varane gets on the header on that and puts it out of play for a throw-in, level with the Manchester United 6-yard mark. And Alfie Doherty is going to take this one. Let's see. Is he going to go for the long one? He goes short to Barkley, who gives it to Chong. Chong, back to Doherty. Can Doherty get the cross in here? Oh, yes, he can. Carlton Morris is on the end of that. But his header, he could not be directed towards the goal. And it goes behind for a goal kick. But that was a good ball into the box there by Alfie Doherty. Carlton Morris just not able to get on the end of that. And here's Bruno Fernandes. Tries to catch the goalkeeper off the line. And that is way wide and not so handsome. And it's going to be a goal kick to Luton Town. Carlton Morris already got one goal today. He was just unable to divert that header. And it just went very, very wide. Almost went as far as the corner flag. Here's Chong, He's dispossessed there. And Kobe Mainu now. And gives the ball to Casemiro, to Højlund, to Garnacho down the right-hand side. Garnacho finds Dallo. Diogo Dallo drops it back there to Casemiro. Casemiro launches the ball in the penalty area. It's comfortably dealt with by Ogbeni. And Ogbeni clears the ball forward there to Woodrow. And Woodrow drops the ball back to Doherty, who goes all the way back to Amari Bell, who's just trying to get away here from Rasmus Højlund, and only just, but Luton are on the break now. And Ogbeni storming down the right-hand side. Let's see what he can do with it. He's got Luke Shaw in front of him. Ogbeni, he's got options available, and he gives the ball to Sambi-Lokonga. To Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley tries to launch it in the box, but it's blocked by Casemiro, and it falls nicely to Fernandes, who sets off Marcus Rashford on his way. But good work there by Mengi, tracking Rashford, and knocks it back to the Luton goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminsky. And here's Amari Bell now, as it's a fast-paced game today. And Alfie Doherty now, already midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. He gives the ball to Chang. Chang again. And it's now with Albert Sambi-Lokonga. Back to Barkley, back to Chong. And it's now with Doherty. Doherty tries to find Chong again. Alfie Doherty's claiming handball against Diogo Dallo. David Kuta, referee, agrees. It's going to be a free kick. It's right over by the touchline on the left-hand side. And it's about midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. And Carlton Morris takes his position in the penalty area. He's already scored one today. He's got 4 in his last 7. Certainly be looking for another one. That would certainly make him feel very happy. It'll bring Luton right back level in this game. The free kick is going to be taken by Alfie Doherty. And Garnacho is just the only man standing there forming some kind of a wall. It's really far out. Manchester United holding a high line right on the 18-yard box. It's swung in, and there's the header by Mengi up into the air, and it drops down to Chong. Chong gives the ball to Albert Sambi-Lokonga. It's now with Amari Bell, just touches the ball back to Albert Sambi-Lokonga, and it's back to Ross Barkley. He's about 25 yards out, Barkley, and he gives the ball to Alfie Doherty down the left-hand side. He tries to swing the cross in, but that's blocked by Garnacho, and it's going to be a throw-in to Luton Town, which Alfie Doherty will take. And it's almost level with the penalty area. Taken quickly. Here's Ross Barkley. Barkley gives it to Albert Sambi-Lokonga. He's got Mengi alongside him and also Osho. Here's Bell. Back to Barkley. Barkley drops it back there to Osho, and Osho to Mengi. Mengi gives the ball now to Ogbeni down the right-hand side. There's a quick 1-2 with Morris, but it's a poor ball back to Mengi. And Luke Shaw clears up by giving it back to Onana. Onana clears it quickly. And now Manchester United are on the break with Bruno Fernandes. He's got options left and right, but what a poor ball to Garnacho. He's only just caught it as Garnacho. And now Garnacho in the penalty area down the right-hand side. And his pass back there to Rasmus Højlund. Højlund goes down in the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes tries to find Garnacho again. But that is good covering work by Albert Sambi Lokonga. And in fact has given a free kick to Luton. Or has he? Let's have a look. I'm just trying to see what happened. He might be looking. I wonder whether he's given a penalty. No, it is a free kick. I just thought for a moment he might have given a penalty because the Luton players were surrounding the referee for a moment there. But it's back with Amari Bell anyway. And it's now with Barkley. And Barkley gives the ball back there to Osho. And Osho gives the ball to Amari Bell. And now it's forward to Alfie Doherty, who tries to set off Chong on his way, but that's a good interception by Diogo Dalla. It goes out of play for a throw-in. Just inside the Manchester United half of the field, left-hand side, is Chong. Gives it back to Carlton Morris. And here is Mengi over the halfway line. Gives the ball to Ogbeni down the right-hand side. He's got Luke Shaw in front of him. And that's a beautiful turn by Carlton Morris now. Morris just slips it off to Chong. Chong gives the ball to Barkley again. They're about 25 yards out. Here's Chong again. Gives the ball to Alfie Doherty down the left-hand side. That's a good challenge by Diogo Dallo, but it's won back by Doherty. And he gives the ball to Barkley, and Barkley gives it to Chong. Chong gives the ball to Mengi. Mengi down this right-hand side here to Ogbeni. It's now with Mengi again. And it's back to Albert Sambi Lokonga. United pressing Luton back. They're back in their own half now. And it's Osho who gives the ball to Mengi. Forward now. Chasing this one is Carlton Morris. And that's a good challenge there. And actually the referee has given a free kick on Cauley Woodrow for the challenge on Harry Maguire. Let's just take a look at that. Harry Maguire's first challenge was a good one, but then Woodrow left the foot in and fouled Harry Maguire. And it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United for the foul on the England international. Well, Harry Maguire takes it quick. Oh, it's a terrible giveaway by Maguire. And here's Barkley. He finds Cauley Woodrow. Woodrow with a shot, but Raphael Varane was there to make a valuable challenge. But what a terrible giveaway by Harry Maguire. And you can see he just doesn't think. He plays the ball and it's comfortably won by Barkley, who slides it across to Cauley Woodrow. And Raphael Varane bailed his central defensive partner out there. And it's going to be a corner to Manchester United. Still 2-1. Harry Maguire shaking his head. Well, he might. It's Luton's first corner of the game, and it's going to be taken by Alfie Doherty down the left-hand side. Alfie Doherty is going to outswing this one. Up go the heads, and it's Osho with the header. And he puts it well wide. It'll be disappointed with that he wasn't able to put it towards the goal. Osho wasn't really picked up there. It was a half a chance for Gabriel Osho. It's only about 7 yards out. Anyway, it's a goal kick for Manchester United, as we've had 31 minutes here at Kenilworth Road. Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. And as Manchester United will look at this as being a big victory for them if they can keep a hold of this. Luton desperately want to get back into this. They don't want to be relying on Crystal tomorrow at Goodison Park. The ball is now picked up by Casemiro. He gives it to Kobe Mainu. Mainu plays the ball to Rasmus Højlund. It's just a little bit too far in front of him. And coming back and dealing with that is Alfie Doherty. And he gives the ball there to Albert Sambi Lokonga, the goalkeeper, Kaminski. And there is a challenge in the back of Carlton Morris. And it's going to be a free kick to Luton Town. And Manchester United, they've really picked up form in recent weeks. Just for a period of time, they was under so much pressure. Was Eric Ten Hag, but some recent wins have certainly secured his job more here. Carlton Morris now is under pressure by Casemiro, and this Casemiro fouled him. Indeed, he has, and the referee has said, and Carlton Morris has said 3 times now regarding Casemiro, and the referee has chosen not to take any further action. Of course, the win for Manchester United doesn't really move them anywhere. They still remain in 6th position, 3 points behind Tottenham Hotspur. And if Luton win, of course, today, they will move 4 points ahead of Everton, which means that no matter what the result at Crystal Palace, at Goodison Park tomorrow, rather, Everton will remain in the bottom three. Here's Garnacho, dropped back into his own half to Diogo Dalot. Tries to play the ball forward, but he's dispossessed. And here's Ross Barkley, and here's Chong down the left-hand side. Can he get the crossing, Chong? Oh, he does, but it's a low one. And that is a really good challenge by Diogo Dalot to get the interception in on that. And in doing so, it rolls through to Andre Onana and brings another Luton Town attack to an end. That's a good piece of defending by Diogo Dalot, sliding in now and making a fine challenge. And Onana just gives the ball now to Raphael Varane. Varane plays the ball forward, and Alfie Doherty just heads the ball down to Amari Bell under pressure from Garnacho, but he turns away from Garnacho brilliantly, does Bell. Oh, and he's still going, and Casemiro has committed the foul there, and this time he will go into the referee's notebook. Casemiro, there's no question. I don't know why he drops to his knees and complains in this manner. He makes no attempt to win the ball. He trips him up. It's a foul. I'll never understand. I don't know why he's even still complaining. He's still complaining. I don't know why. It's a free kick and for Luton Town, and he's now going to have to be very careful, Casemiro, because that's his fourth foul that he's made, and there's only half an hour gone. It's going to be a free kick which Alfie Doherty will take. It's just inside the Manchester United half of the field, and it's going to Alfie Doherty. It's just towards the left-hand side, and he's going to take this one. Manchester United very high line again, outside the 18-yard box. It's swung in. Carlton Morris again, but it's headed out there by Casemiro, but only as far as Ogbeni, and Ogbeni gives it to Chong. Back to Ogbeni. Ogbeni crosses the ball in again. Diverted the header with Woodrow, but he finds Osho inside the penalty area, now down the left-hand side. Doherty gives the ball to Ross Barkley, corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Ross Barkley inside the penalty area there. He just moves out to the edge of the box. He's looking to get a shot away here, Barkley. And he finds Mengi, and now Chong. Chong down the right-hand side of the penalty area, and the referee, the official on this near side, has given offside against Chong, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. And Andre Onana is going to take that as we have 10 minutes to go till half-time now. It's Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. And it's going to be taken by Andre Onana with this free kick, which is just inside his own 18-yard box. He launches it right-footed downfield. Going up to that is Hoyland, and he tries to get the flick on, but that's good work by the Luton Town defence. And there's Amari Bell, who gives the ball away to Casemiro, who gives the ball back to Hoyland. He's got options in front of him as Hoyland tries to find Rashford. That's a good interception by Mengi. And Luton could come on the break now. And it's Ogbeni down the right-hand side. Ogbeni just gets away from Casemiro, and Casemiro had to be so careful that time. Here's Ogbeni, right-hand side, pulled into the middle to Albert Sambi-Lokonga. He goes down under the challenge of Marcus Rashford, but nothing doing, says David Coon. And here's Rasmus Hoyland. He gives the ball to Garnacho. Garnacho is dispossessed by Carlton Morris now. Carlton Morris shot. Oh, it just whistles wide. Oh, just whistled past Onana's left-hand post. What an effort by Carlton Morris. So close to tying this game up. He had Onana scrambling. And I just wonder if that was on target, would that have been sneaking inside? I think it would have. I don't think Onana was getting there. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Manchester United. And it's going to be taken by Andre Onana, who launches the ball downfield. Just looking for Hoyland again. Being marshalled this time by Osho, but Garnacho wins the ball in the centre of the field. It's now with Luke Shaw. Shaw does a quick 1-2 with Harry Maguire. And it's dropped back to Andre Onana again. It's being closed down this time by Wilson, and Casemiro just plays the ball to Diogo Dalot. To Raphael Varane. And he just looks at options available to Varane, but he goes all the way back to Casemiro, who goes back to the goalkeeper. And the ball is played there to Varane again, and he tries to find Diogo Dalot this time. That's a good challenge there by Chong, wins the ball back, but it breaks loose now to Diogo Dallo again. And here's Mainu. He's got Garnacho in front of him. He drops it back down to Casemiro. Gives the ball to Bruno Fernandes, who drops it back to Harry Maguire. Maguire down this left-hand side, launched forward by Rashford, and he was looking for Højlund. That's a good piece of defensive work by Osho. And there's a free kick now by Harry Maguire on Carlton Morris, who once again can play with foul, but the free kick is taken quickly. And here's Alfie Doherty storming down the left-hand side for Luton. Alfie Doherty, corner of the penalty area, played across to Chong. Oh, that's a good piece of defending that time by Rafael Varane. That's the second vital interception he's made in this first half. And here's Albert Sambi-Lokonga as Manchester United turn the ball over again. And it's now with Benny with a shot. That's blocked by Maguire. It breaks loose to Mainu, who gives it to Casemiro. And it's now with Garnacho, who gives the ball to Casemiro. And Casemiro has caught him late. And they're screaming for a red card against Casemiro. And, well, Carlton Morris is right in the face of the referee. He needs to stay out of it. It doesn't really involve him, but let's see. The referee, I don't think, is going to show Casemiro a second yellow. But there is a massive debate going on here between both sets of players and the referee. And, well, I'd like to take a look at this again. Casemiro may be lucky to get away with this one. Yes, it's late. I have seen those given as yellow cards. Now, I guess it's going to depend. It is very late. I guess it's going to depend now on David Coote's interpretation of this. He may be lenient. In fact, he's not going to award the card, despite the protests of the Luton Town players. And I've never been a big fan of players trying to get other players sent off. And I don't particularly like what Luton are doing here, but it was a late challenge and maybe was worthy of a second yellow card. But it's Alfie Doherty now with a free kick. He swings it into the penalty area. Amari Bell goes up with the header, and it just goes through to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. And Onana has the ball now inside his own penalty area as we approach 40 minutes, but Casemiro will have to be very careful. If I was Eric Ten Hag, I may take him off at half-time because, to be perfectly honest, that's 5 fouls he's done now in this first half. He's especially with his temperament at the moment, I've got to wonder whether Eric Ten Hag will make that substitution. The long ball is launched into the Manchester United half of the field, but there was no way Benny was going to catch that, and it goes through to the goalkeeper. Scott McTominay would be the obvious and ideal replacement for Casemiro, should Eric Ten Hag choose to do that. But there is also Christian Eriksen, who's also a fairly obvious replacement, and we may well see either of those two players in the second half. We'll wait and see. Bruno Fernandes gives it to Mainu. And it's now with Harry Maguire. He gives the ball to Luke Shaw. Plays the ball forward here now to Rasmus Højlund. Under pressure here from Amari Bell. Højlund turns and tries to set off Mainu on his way. But good work by Osho. Just gets in front of Mainu and gives that back to the goalkeeper Kaminski. Clears that downfield. But only finds Luke Shaw, and Manchester United are on the attack down the left-hand side again. But the ball to Kobe Mainu was a poor one, and Ocho clears the ball again. Back to the goalkeeper one more time. Kaminski clears the ball downfield. It's headed on by Barkley, but only as far as Harry Maguire, who gives the ball to Bruno Fernandes, and he gives the ball to Casemiro. And Casemiro gives the ball to Rafael Varane, who collides with Paulie Woodrow there, but it's cleared by Andre Onana, headed down by Harry Maguire. And Luke Shaw now on the way down the left-hand side, but coming across well is Osho making a challenge, but he only finds Rashford. As far as Rasmus Højlund, and the ball back by Højlund was a poor one. And now Ross Barkley then the other way. Ross Barkley finds Carlton Morris. It's about 25 yards out. Morris beats Maguire, and Maguire brings him down, and that will be a yellow card for Harry Maguire. And we are seeing a lot of bookings and poor challenges in this game, it has to be said. Harry Maguire, definitely no question, yellow there. Again, very late and poor challenge. And this is not what Manchester United will want, picking up all these bookings. That's the third one of the half. Luke Shaw on 20 minutes, Casemiro on 33, and now Harry Maguire on 42. And you can just see it here. It's a terrible challenge. And it does give Luton a very dangerous free kick. It's about 23 yards out, and it's just right of centre. They've got a free kick committee set up here. In the wall, Hoyland, Maguire, Casemiro, and Varane. Laying behind those is Garnacho. And Alfie Doherty is standing over this one, even though it's on the right-hand side. And also standing over this is Ross Barkley. So we've got Barkley and Doherty standing over this as Luton attempting to get themselves level in this game. My producer Ross thinks Casemiro should have been sent off. I have to say I agree with him. I think David Coote had been quite lenient there. But here is the free kick to be taken. It's going to be Doherty or Barkley. It's Doherty, and it's right into the wall. And it skews out of play for a throw into Luton. It came off Raphael. The throw-in is only about 2 or 3 yards away from the corner flag down the right-hand side, left-hand side rather, which Alfie Doherty will take. As we approach half-time, it should be interesting to see how much stoppage time we've got at the end of this half. Throw-in taken quickly, and it's dropped down by Carlton Morris, but he gives the ball away, and Manchester United can come on the break now. And it's Marcus Rashford down the left-hand side. He plays the ball forward looking for Luke Shaw, but Luke Shaw is not going to catch that one. And it's a comfortable take by Kaminski. And he releases the ball to Mengi. Mengi was looking, Benny was looking for the ball from Mengi, but instead he finds Albert Sambi-Lokonga, who goes all the way to the left-hand side to Doherty. Doherty gives it to Chong. Chong with the cross, and it's cleared away by Raphael Varane, but only as far as Doherty. Doherty again with a cross. It's another poor one. Headed down there by Casemiro. And Kobe Mainu now trying to come away from Manchester United. It's a good ball there to Garnacho. Garnacho over the halfway line down the right-hand side. He feeds Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes in the middle, gives it to Rashford down the left-hand side. Rashford now, can he get the shot away? Rashford is in the penalty area. He's got 2 defenders in front of him. One of them is Mengi, the other one is Albert Sambi-Lokonga, and Rashford's going down, clutching his face. And I think we're just going to put the ball out of play here. I'm just not quite sure what happened to Rashford there. Let's have a look. He went down all right, but he just got knocked in the face with a straight hand there, and went down like he'd been. He went down like he'd been hit by a 20-foot freight train. Or I should say a 20-ton freight train, and it's kind of just getting up slowly now. My producer says Rashford went down like he'd been hit by a bus. Agreed. Definitely unnecessary, and it's kind of a shame that a team like Manchester United have to resort to these sort of tactics. But anyway, Mengi gives the ball back to the goalkeeper Kaminski. 4 minutes added time, added on by our 4th official, Tony Harrington. As Luton now will start again from the back. And it's Doherty. He gives the ball back to Ben. Looking for options available. Gives the ball back to Doherty. Doherty's going to play the ball over the halfway line. And chasing this one is Coley Woodrow. But that ball is put out of play by Diogo Dalot. And the throw is taken quickly by Luton. Here's Chong. Chong gives the ball there to Morris, and goes back to Doherty with a shot, and it is just wide again as Luton come very close to levelling the scores once more. Quick 1-2 there between Chong and Morris, and then they find Doherty, and Doherty again, if that was on target, that was going in. The goalkeeper was nowhere near it. As once again Luton come close, and we're going to see a substitution now. And it looks like Luke Shaw is going to come off, and Victor Lindelof is coming on. So Luke Shaw is off. I'm not quite sure exactly what for, but he's going straight to the Manchester United dressing room. I can only assume he's picked up an injury, as Victor Lindelof is on in his place for the first substitution of the match. That looks like it's an enforced one. As we have played 2 minutes of the allotted 4 minutes injury time here at Kenilworth Road. And here's Kobe Mainu for Manchester United, just inside the Luton half of the field, down the right-hand side. And here's Garnacho now. Garnacho, he gives the ball to Rasmus Højlund, but that is a really good challenge by Alfie Doherty. Such an important challenge as Rasmus Højlund is hat-trick hunting, but a really, really good challenge that time. And it's now back with Alfie Doherty, who gives it back to the goalkeeper. And it's now given to Albert Sambi-Lokonga. And Albert Sambi-Lokonga gives the ball down its near side to Mengi. And that is a really good challenge by Marcus Rashford. Just gets in the way of that. And the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Luton down the right-hand side, midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. Albert Sambi-Lokonga gives the ball to Osha, to Bell. And Bell there, it's a poor ball by Bell. He was looking there for Alfie Doherty, but the ball goes out of play. As we enter the last of the minimum of 4 minutes stoppage time, we'll see whether David Coote will add any discretionary time of his own. As Manchester United looking now at going into half-time with a 2-1 lead. But you have to say Luton Town really have created the better chances since they pulled one back. And Manchester United haven't really been able to break down the Luton defence. And it's going to be a free kick, though, to Manchester United now, which Casemiro is standing over. And he just the ball is just inside the Manchester United half of the field in the centre circle. He goes long, looking for Diogo Dalot. Can Dalot get it inside the penalty area? Pulled back to Garnacho with a shot. And it's blocked by Bell. Good block there, because Garnacho is pretty dangerous in front of goal. Kobe Mainoo down the right-hand side. He's dispossessed. And now Alfie Doherty just drops it back to Bell. And here's Doherty again. He plays it off Garnacho, and it goes out of play for a throw-in to the Hatters, which is taken quickly. And he's given to Albert Sambi-Lokonga, midway inside his own half of the field. And Albert Sambi-Lokonga gives it to Chong down the left-hand side. Back to Albert Sambi-Lokonga. And he launches the ball into the penalty area looking for Ogbene, but he was closely marked by Victor Lindelof there. And it just goes through to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana, as we've played the 4 minutes now. And he will just look to see out this first half, Onana, taking his time. And he's not in any particular hurry. He finally does clear the ball downfield as David Coote blows for half-time. And at half-time at Kenilworth Road, it is Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. The fun started in just 40 seconds when Rasmus Højlund scored from a terrible back pass from Amari Bell. He rounded the goalkeeper and put it into the net. Rasmus Højlund added another goal on 6 minutes when a shot from Garnacho on the volley took a deflection off Højlund. The goal was given to him because Garnacho's shot was off target, and that diverted past Thomas Kaminski. But a goal back by Carlton Morris from 14 minutes with a header has made this a little bit more interesting. So we have a very, very interesting second half ahead. Half-time at Kenilworth Road, Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. Excellent first half coverage from Paul throughout the first half of the game. We'll bring you up to date with all the other scores from the matches taking place today in a second or two. We will just bring you in this first half, as Paul rightly said, Manchester United have had 3 yellow cards to Luton's 1. Shaw, Casemiro and Maguire. I'm wondering whether maybe an injury for Shaw went off in first half stoppage time, or whether he was due to picking up a yellow card initially for the game in between for Manchester United in this game, or whether Luton Town, or whether Ten Hag decided to do a tactical switch early, because in the last game for Manchester United, it was Shaw that went off at half time for Lindelof against Aston Villa. So maybe it's a tactical switch again. We just need a little bit early because of the yellow card this time around, because he didn't pick up the yellow card in the first half at Villa Park, as we mentioned, won by the same scoreline. They're currently leading here by 2-1. There's the scorers on the screen for you at half time. Carlton Morris for Luton on 14 minutes after Rasmus Højlund scored on 1 and 7 minutes in the game for Manchester United. The second of which was an assist from Alejandro Garnacho for Manchester United. We'll bring you up to date with all the other scores today. Then let's start off in the WSL, the Women's Super League. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Liverpool 1, Everton 2, West Ham United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Aston Villa 2, Leicester City 5, Bristol City 2 in that game at the King Power Stadium this afternoon. So the women's team did what the men's team couldn't do, and that was win at the King Power Stadium this weekend. In the Women's Championship, let's tell you about the full-time scores there. London City Lionesses 2, Durham 2, Sunderland 4, Lewes 3, Birmingham City 1, Southampton 2, Crystal Palace 4, Blackburn Rovers 0. French League 1, Strasbourg 1, Lorient 3, Monaco 1, Toulouse 2, Montpellier 3, Metz 0, Rennes 3, Clermont 1. 60 minutes gone is Reims 1, Lyon 1. Brest v Marseille is a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Times are UK only. In the German Bundesliga, SC Freiburg 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 3. Bochum 2, Bayern Munich 1. Coming up to our half time in the Bochum against Bayern Munich game in the German Bundesliga. Italian Serie A, Lazio 1, Bologna 2, Empoli 1, Fiorentina 1, Udinese 1, Cagliari 1. 22 minutes on the clock is Frenese 0, AS Roma 0. Monza against AC Milan is a 7:45. Dutch Eredivisie, FC 20 0, FC Utrecht 1, Ajax 2, NCE Nijmegen 2, Betis Arnhem 1, FC Volendam 1. 75 minutes on the clock is Feyenoord 0, KC Valvik 0. Valvik down to 10 men. Scottish Premiership, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 3. Spanish La Liga, Rayo Vallecano 1, Real Madrid 1, Granada 1, Almeria 1. Real Mallorca against Real Sociedad kicks off at 5:30, with Real Betis against Alaves kicks off at 8 p.m. In the Saudi Pro League, Al Hilal 3, Al Riyadh 1, Al Ittihad 1, Al Riyadh 0. Goal scorer for Al Hilal in their game, and their goal scorers was from a Fulham striker, Alexander Mitrovic. He scored a brace. He also played for Newcastle United in the Premier League. And the other goal scorer for Al Hilal was from a Chelsea defender, and he also played for Napoli in Serie A, Kalidou Koulibaly. And Kalidou Koulibaly was set up by former Wolverhampton Wanderers midfielder Ruben Neves. Goal scorer for Al Ittihad in their game against Al Riyadh was Amadallah, with in the side former Premier League stars N'Golo Kante and Fabinho. Ahmed El Ghazi, who used to play for West Bromwich Albion, also starting for Al Ittihad in the defence. Also starts his former Real Madrid man Karim Benzema. Also starts for Al Ittihad in their game against Al Riyadh. 26 minutes gone there in the Saudi Pro League. It's Al Ittihad 1, Al Riyadh 0. So those are some of the scores taking place today. We'll keep you bang up to date with all of the first half action in a moment. We'll just get some thoughts from that. We'll just try and bring you a little bit of an interview, which we should be able to bring you a bit of now. So we'll just take off the noise in the background so you'll be able to hear this interview, as we're about to hear a little bit of an interview from Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder on their defeat to Brighton this afternoon. Sheffield United got beat by 5 goals to nil. Declan Harrington, thank you for your comment. Keep them clean, and please keep them respectable. Thank you very much. And we'll just bring you a little bit of thoughts from Chris Wilder, who spoke after the match as Sheffield United got beat by 5 goals to nil against Brighton of Albion. This is what he had to say. We'll bring you that in just a second. We'll just bring you what he's got to say in a second while it's at half time in this match. We'll try and bring you some of what Roberto De Zerbi had to say as well. But here is what Chris Wilder had to say this afternoon.
12 minutes of the match with the sending off. It obviously does. So we have to get that balance right, but from being competitive to being overzealous in our challenges, and of course it did. And I've got to say, if you there's certain teams you don't want to go down to 10 men against, and one of them would be the team that we played this afternoon. So yeah, it obviously altered everything in the game and how the game went.
What have you said to Mason about that challenge?
Got to get the balance right. Jack Robinson's made challenges like that. They've all made challenges like that. They've just got to get the balance right. So I don't think there's any hiding place in that. It's a mistimed tackle. Whether it's too powerful as people talk about, or however they want to dress it up. Game's moved on. I get it, but it certainly gave yellow card straight away. I think he pulled out, but with VAR, it gives them the opportunity of upgrading it, and obviously they did that.
Just a bit there from Sheffield United boss Chris Wilder on their game against Brighton of Albion this afternoon. We'll try and bring you some of the quotes or some important interview from Roberto De Zerbi a little bit later on in the programme as well. We'll bring in our match commentator who's been watching this game at Kenilworth Road in this first half between Luton Town and Manchester United. And Paul, it's been a fascinating game. Quick start for Manchester United, 2 goals in the opening 8 minutes, but a good response from Luton, getting the goal back from Colton Morris. And Luton, really, should be level at half time, shouldn't they?
Well, they've had the chances, Ross. The chances have fallen to Carlton Morris. He's had a chance. Benny's had a chance. And, of course, Ross Barkley. And Alfie Doherty struck just wide as well. So the chances have been there, but they've not been able to get themselves level. And the difference is between a side that deserves to win and a side that loses but plays very well is the amount of goals that you score. You have to take your chances, and Luton, well, they've got to come out in the second half and try to take their chances, because this could be a pivotal game in their survival. With Everton at home to Crystal Palace tomorrow, this could be a pivotal game for Luton in order to keep themselves outside of the bottom 3.
Yes, absolutely there. Paul, absolutely some big changes, big half coming up for Luton. If I were to put you in the shoes of Rob Edwards right now, obviously going into the first half, just before kick-off, around about 10 minutes or so before kick-off, 20 minutes or so before kick-off, news broke through that their top scorer, Elijah Adebayo, who was initially named in the starting lineup for Luton Town, would be missing out through injury, which picked up in the warm-up. No word on what that injury is. They had to make a late change with Colin Woodrow coming in to pawn Colton Morris in the attack. So with that in mind then, Paul, how do you see Rob Edwards seeing that first off, and what do you think he'll be saying to his players at half-time right now?
Well, I think he's got to be looking at being a lot happier, given the fact they've fallen 2 goals down in the first 6 minutes. You've got to be happy with that. You've got to be happy with the fact that you've got 1 back and you're back in the game and you're creating the better chances now than Manchester United. And I honestly think if Luton can get themselves back into the game in terms of getting an equalising goal, the way they're playing, I think they could very well go on and win it.
Yes, just looking from the Manchester United side of things, very good fast start for them. Like I mentioned, 2 goals in the opening 8 minutes. Well, since that second goal, they sat back, or the job was half done, shall we say, not fully done. So no, 2-0 is a dangerous lead, 2-1 is also a dangerous lead. But I thought the job was half done. When you look at from a Man United perspective, what do you think Eric Ten Hag will be saying to his team? Because obviously they also had to adapt to that late change in their preparation, just ahead of kick-off, as well with 20 minutes to go. Nicola Woodrow coming into the stocks and then the Pacific Island Elijah and Bayo. What do you think Ten Hag will be saying to his team? Yes, fantastic start from 2 up inside 7 minutes. But then they've allowed Luton back into it, and if Luton had been able to take the chances, it would have been level at half time. So what would you say to that, to Eric? What do you think Eric Ten Hag will be saying there? So I'm just sitting on my monitor here, Paul, as just a couple of seats away from you. Manchester United are about to looks like Man United are about to make a double substitution at half time, from what I could see there, with Johnny Evans and Scott McTominay about to come on. So it looks like he's going to be making a couple of changes, Eric Ten Hag. But how do you think he would have felt overall with the performance from his Manchester United side in that first half, leading 2-1 at the break?
Well, they've got to deal with the individual errors. They've got to be patient and focus more and deal with the individual errors. I think Manchester United are not concentrating at the back and they're being caught out. So I think what he'll focus on at half time is the individual errors. I wouldn't be surprised to see Casemiro removed. I think I'm willing to guess that Scott McTominay is on for Casemiro. I'll be very surprised if that's not the case, but we'll see. Unless Kobe Mainoo has picked up an injury, but I think it's going to be Casemiro. Scott McTominay, after all, is the leading scorer for Manchester United. We know he's capable of getting goals. He got one late on against Villa, so it might be interesting to see. I guess for Johnny Evans, I'm thinking the only other person that could be going off is, well, it might be Harry Maguire, but let's see. Let's take a look until I get an official announcement. But the game's about ready to get underway, Ross, so I'll take over from here. It is Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I was about to say, it is Maguire who's gone off, and from what I've just looked at the pictures, you're right, Paul, it is Casemiro that's gone off. For me, Casemiro shouldn't have been subbed off. He should have been sent off in that first half for me for 2 years. As the teams are ready for the second half, back over to your match commentator, Paul James.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. And yes, we're about to get the second half underway, and Manchester United will be attacking the goal to our right in the second half. And hello, media, radio, and jingles. Hope you're enjoying the game so far. It's on a knife edge, this game right now, with Luton Town playing so well in the latter part of that first half, having a lot of chances. And I think Manchester United here now, and Eric Ten Hag is looking to create a little bit of a stronger defence to try to deal with the individual errors that Manchester United have made in the first half. And Casemiro we removed for his own good, I would suspect. Here's Johnny Evans, he just lets it go through there, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. And it's cleared downfield by Andre Onana. Up in the air there is Dalot. And foul there on Woodrow. And, well, no, there's no foul given there. In fact, the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United. That looks a pretty clear foul to me. But Diogo Dalot throws it forward there to Rasmus Højlund. But Luton Town pick up the ball here. And it's Chong who's just trying to get away from Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay already in the backrooms early on. Goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to Luton Town, which is going to be taken by Alfie Doherty down this left-hand side. He throws the ball to Amari Bell. Gives the ball back to Osho. Osho just looking for options available. He just goes across there to Mengi, and Mengi goes back to Kaminski. Kaminski right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Plays the ball back there to Mengi again, and back to Kaminski. And the header is won by Kobe Mainoo. And he wins the ball again. Mainoo just plays the ball quickly to Rashford down the left-hand side. Rashford plays the ball forward to Højlund. Højlund tries to lay the ball off. Oh, what was Scott McTominay doing there? Scott McTominay just, it was obvious there, I think, that Rasmus Højlund laid the ball off to McTominay, and he didn't read it, and now Luton Town are on the break with Ogbene. Right-hand side, Ogbene drops the ball back to Albert Sambi Lokonga. Lokonga gives the ball to Barkley. Barkley has got Bell alongside him. Bell will probably go down the left-hand side. Indeed, he goes to Doherty. Doherty swings the ball in. Onana should come out and claim that one comfortably. Indeed, he does. So just to reiterate the substitutes for you, Scott McTominay is on for Casemiro, and Johnny Evans is on for Harry Maguire. The ball is cleared downfield there, and it's now with Rasmus Højlund. Højlund, that's a great ball to Garnacho, and Garnacho is in here, right-hand side. Garnacho, oh, he should have shot, but the ball breaks loose to Højlund. It's now back to Fernandes, which is blocked there by Scott McTominay. I think got the block on that, and obviously unintentionally. The ball is cleared, but only as far as Kobe Mainoo, who has been very impressive in this game so far. He gives it back to Rafael Varane, and it's dropped back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. But that was a quick break by Manchester United. I rather thought Garnacho might have shot there rather than pulling it across to Rasmus Højlund. But the ball is now cleared by Onana, and Dalot is in here. Kaminski is out of position, but he just gets the ball off Dalot. A good piece of goalkeeping. I don't know what Kaminski was doing that far out, but the ball was played forward. Dalot had gotten away from Doherty, and fortunately for Kaminski, he was able to recover and fall on the ball at Dalot's feet. Manchester United really had a chance there. And here's Chong on the other end, down the left-hand side. Chong gets away from Mainoo. He gets a cross in, and it's just headed away there by Evans. And it comes back there to Woodrow with a shot. And it's a comfortable save for the goalkeeper. Paulie Woodrow with the effort. It was laid off by Carlton Morris. But Andre Onana, Luton Town, very quick on the break today. Andre Onana is keeping himself nice and busy in this one. Clears downfield as far as Højlund, but Højlund not able to bring it down, and Mengi picks up the loose ball. Caden Mengi plays the ball forward to Woodrow, and he heads the ball down, but Kobe Mainoo gets in there, but Woodrow wins the ball back, but he's in an offside position. And he's furious at both. He's furious at the official on the far side, claiming that was a mistake. Let's have a look at this. Well, not from what I can see. I think he's actually quite offside. But it did come. Actually, the reason why is it did come off Kobe Mainoo. So I'm wondering, he can't be offside in that position if Kobe Mainoo has played a back pass. Anyway, ball is played forward to Diogo Dalot, who just beats Alfie Doherty there. Now he's storming down the right-hand side, Dalot. Plays the ball there to Rasmus Højlund, to Fernandes. Tries to do a 1-2 with Garnacho, but that went wrong. And Mengi wins the ball and plays it off Fernandes, and it just loops into the air. And Thomas Kaminski just plucks it out the air. We've had 5 minutes of the second half here. It's Luton Town 1. Manchester United 2, and a challenge in the air there by Johnny Evans, and it's going to be a free kick to Luton Town for another foul on Carlton Morris, who's been in the wars today. It's taken quickly, and Alfie Doherty has it down the left-hand side. Garnacho is coming over to meet him, moves into the middle to Doherty and plays it there to Barkley, down to Bell, now to Chong down the left, back to Amari Bell. Bell forward there to Woodrow. And Bell almost just got inside there, but he just pushed the ball too far. And Osho now is under pressure from Rasmus Højlund. And the play goes on. There's no foul on Højlund as McTominay wins the ball in the centre of the park. He gives the ball to Johnny Evans. And he gives the ball to Varane, who goes all the way back to Andre Onana. Onana clears the ball forward. Chasing that one is Rashford. His header on, he finds the number 28, Albert Sambi Lokonga, and he plays the ball forward now to Carlton Morris, and that's a good ball down the right-hand side to Ogbeni. Ogbeni with a cross, and there's Chong with a header, but it's just over the crossbar, and it's going to be a goal kick. The official's flag goes up to mark an offside anyway. So it is Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2, and you are listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services, and Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM, and Focus on Football. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at Commentary Live at facebook.co.uk. And the ball is now going to be, the free kick is going to be taken by Andre Onana and cleared downfield, looking for Rasmus Højlund again. He just knocks the ball down there to Rashford, and he plays it back there to Evans, and Bruno Fernandes just tries to nick the ball off Ross Barkley, but good work by Barkley, and he sends off Benny down the right-hand side, but Johnny Evans gets across and makes a good challenge and just sends it back to Andre Onana. And it's now back with Johnny Evans, who's going to play the ball long. And he only finds Mengi, and Mengi then finds Albert Sambi Lokonga. Lokonga gives it back to Barkley, and the ball by Barkley is long, looking for Alfie Doherty. It's just a bit behind Alfie Doherty, but he's got it down the left-hand side, and he plays it forward to Chong, as Manchester United trying to marshal Chong down that left-hand side. He still has the ball, does Chong, and he plays it to Doherty. Doherty just trying to escape from Garnacho. Just a wrong foot, the Argentinian international. It's launched into the penalty area and headed out by Varane, only as far as Ross Barkley. And it's now with Bell. He gives the ball to Osho inside the centre circle. Osho goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski, and he gives the ball there to Amari Bell. Oh, that's a good turn by Albert Sambi Lokonga, gets the ball off Bell. Lokonga now, he's got options left and right. He gives the ball to Woodrow. Woodrow down the right-hand side. Back to Lokonga. And now down to Ogbene. Ogbene with a cross. That's a good interception by Johnny Evans. It falls to Rashford very nicely. Rashford clears it as far as Rasmus Højlund, who's under pressure from Osho, as Osho has been watching Højlund since the second goal. And Højlund is dispossessed. And it's Barkley who gives it to Chong. And Chong gives it to Doherty now inside the 18-yard box. Doherty with a cross. But there is nobody there to get the touch. And it goes right across the face of goal. And what a pity, because that really was a wonderful ball in by Doherty, right into that corridor of uncertainty. And but there was nobody there, unfortunately, for the Hatters. The closest one trying to get there, of course, was Woodrow, but Johnny Evans was sort of blocking him off. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United, level with their own penalty area. And it's going to be taken by, looks like Rafael Varane, Victor Lindelof. And the pass is given away by Manchester United. They've turned over the ball again, and here's Chong. Edge of the area now, Chong with a shot, but it's skewed wide. It takes a deflection along the way, and it's going to be a corner to Luton Town, which is going to be taken down that right-hand side. And Manchester United living dangerously right now, under pressure in this second half, as Luton have continued the type of pressure that they've been applying at the end of the first half. And Manchester United looking less than comfortable right now. Just going to see who's gone over to take that corner, as Morris is in there, Lokonga is in there, Woodrow's in there, probably joined by Amari Bell. It's going to be Alfie Doherty with the corner. As it's swung in and it's headed up into the air by Rafael Varane, only as far as Ogbene, who heads it back into the penalty area. It flicks up by Woodrow and hacked away again by Rafael Varane. And Albert Sambi Lokonga heads the ball. It's head tennis right now as Amari Bell, Luton trying to bring the ball down onto the floor. Here's Ogbene down the right-hand side. Is he going to get the cross in? He may well do. He may go back to Barkley. He had the chance, I think, really, Ogbene there, and he chose not to do it. Now all of a sudden he does play it to Alfie Doherty. Doherty now down the right-hand side. Gives the ball back to Albert Sambi Lokonga. And it's Barkley now. Gives the ball back to Lokonga. Lokonga. Down the left-hand side to Amari Bell. Can he get the cross in, Amari Bell? Plays it short to Chong, and Bell gets the ball back. He gets the ball across the penalty area, but it's a good block by Rafael Varane. But Chong is going to get another opportunity now. He gets inside the penalty area, does Chong, pulls the ball across, and nobody can get the final touch once again. It's just behind Woodrow, and Manchester United can now clear the ball as Luton once again get behind that Manchester United defence, but they're breaking forward now. And it's Marcus Rashford. He's got Garnacho overlapping. Rashford has a clear shot on goal. He shoots a super save by Thomas Kaminski. Down to his left-hand side. Rashford there with a chance, but Thomas Kaminski equal to it. A fine save that time. Well, that just shows how quick Manchester United are on the break, and Luton do need to be careful. There's a warning shot fired across Luton's bow there. Here's Amari Bell. Bell just goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski. An important save by him. Luton have 13 attempts to Manchester United's 10. Manchester United certainly been more efficient with 5 shots on target, only 3 for Luton. And here is Scott McTominay now. McTominay storming forward now. Scott McTominay, he finds Rasmus Højlund. Højlund over to Rashford. Pulled back to Fernandes with a shot, but he skews it. Oh, what an opportunity that was for Bruno Fernandes, but he skewed it, and it was hacked away by Mengi finally, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United midway inside the Luton half of the field. And we've had 58 minutes gone here. It's Luton Town 1, Manchester United 0. And it's going to be Victor Lindelof that's going to take the throw-in. And Victor Lindelof looking for options available. He's actually level with the Manchester United penalty area. It's Victor Lindelof, and he's taking his time here. Surely David Coote's going to hurry this along. He finally takes it. Evans to Garnacho. What can Garnacho do? He lays it off there for Dallo with a shot, but that is a good block by Amari Bell. And Garnacho tries to take the ball away from Woodrow, but Woodrow has possession, and he drops it back to Bell again. Bell skips away from Garnacho. Good work by Amari Bell. He tries to play it to Woodrow, but it's blocked. But he gets the ball back and gives it to Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley gives the ball to Sambi Lokonga. Good ball into the centre circle here to Barkley again. He's got an option down the right-hand side with Ogbenny. Ogbenny, the former Rotherham player, attacking the goal here down on the corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Ogbenny drops the ball back here now to Mengi. And it comes back to Ross Barkley with a shot. And it's over the crossbar. Luton Town see another chance go begging. But they really have turned up the heat in this second half. Rob Edwards has got to be happy with what he's seeing, but Luton really do need to start taking these chances. You have to wonder when you might see another change. Of course, with no Elijah Adebayo, who's their leading scorer, he certainly would have been the go-to option in this situation. Luton actually haven't beaten Manchester United since the 14th of March 1987. And here is Carlton Morris now. It's a good challenge that time by Johnny Evans. And Bruno Fernandes plays it forward to Rasmus Højlund. Good turn by Højlund. And gives it to Garnacho. And now Bruno Fernandes is in. Round Kaminski. Oh, what a challenge! What a challenge by Osho! Oh, how good was that? Oh, Bruno Fernandes had gotten round Kaminski. It was a nice pass by Garnacho. What was Kaminski doing that far out? I just wonder whether it was Osho or Albert Sambi Lokonga. It's actually Albert Sambi Lokonga with this challenge. It's a super match-saving challenge by Albert Sambi Lokonga, because it was looking for all the world like Fernandes was just going to put it into the empty net. That's the second time Kaminski has been caught well outside of his penalty area in this game. And here's Scott McTominay. It's a challenge there by Amari Bell, and it goes out of play for a throw-in. And it's going to be, it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United about 6 yards away from the corner flag. It's taken quickly. Dallo gives it to McTominay. Another good challenge by Amari Bell this time. And it's Mainu rather. He gives the ball to Dallo. It's swung in again by Fernandes and headed behind that time by Mengi. And it's going to be a corner for Manchester United. We are inside 29 minutes to go. And that is one worried-looking Manchester United manager. He cannot be pleased with what he's seen in this second half from Manchester United, but they very nearly stuck in a sucker punch if it wasn't for Albert Sambi Lokonga. And it's a corner now to Manchester United. And it's going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes down the left-hand side with Victor Lindelof and Scott McTominay. We know how dangerous he's been this season inside the penalty area. It's a poor corner. Oh, it comes back out to Garnacho. Garnacho with a shot. And it's a comfortable save. I was rather expecting Osho to pick up that ball easy, or Bene rather, to pick up that ball easy, but it goes under his feet, and Garnacho gets a shot away, but it really was a team effort. And here's Carlton Morris. just heads the ball down there to Barkley. Barkley, he saw the short pass to Lokonga, and now Mainu and Manchester United have possession. Bruno Fernandes plays a short pass this time, and Albert Sambi Lokonga clears the ball downfield. Under pressure on Johnny Evans is Carlton Morris, but Manchester United maintain possession. It's Rafael Varane. Varane plays the ball into the middle to Fernandes. Fernandes looking for Rasmus Højlund, but away that time by Amari Bell, and Manchester United committed a foul here on Ross Barkley. Free kick is taken quickly by Chong, but Chong has given the ball away, and here's Garnacho, and now Manchester United can come forward. Diogo Dalot gives the ball to Johnny Evans, and Johnny Evans just drops the ball here to Victor Lindelof, who goes all the way back to Andre Onana. Well, we've seen some pretty interesting football in this game. It has to be said. Here's Bruno Fernandes, and he gives the ball to Scott McTominay. To Rashford, back to McTominay. Kobe Mainu, ball down the right-hand side to Alexandre Garnacho, and Mainu plays the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes back to Højlund. And here now is Garnacho. He's looking to turn and get a shot away. He does, but it's over the crossbar and behind. Well, looking at the record between these two sides, Luton have actually only won 4 games against Manchester United. They've played 41. Luton have won 4. Manchester United have won 30, and there's been 7 draws. In fact, Luton have never won at Old Trafford, and have only beaten Manchester United away once, and that was the first ever meeting between the two sides on September the 18th in 1897. Then Newton Heath lost at Bank Street in Clayton 2-1 to Luton on that day. And here is Mengi. Mengi gives the ball to Ross Barkley. Barkley just looking for options left and right there. He's got Bell alongside him, but he's taking his time here, is Barkley. He plays the ball over and across to Mengi. Mengi forward to the corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. A quick 1-2 with Woodrow. It's now picked up by Chong on the edge of the area. Chong might get away with a shot here. He does. It takes a deflection and then headed out by Evans, but only as far as Ross Barkley. And it's now back with Chong. He plays it into Doherty. Can Doherty create some room here? He tries to get the cross. It comes off Diogo Dalot and will be a corner to Luton Town. And with 65 minutes gone, it is still 2-1 to the Red Devils. And I just wonder whether actually, no, the corner has been given. And Chong is in there. Ross Barkley is in there. And of course, Ogbeni, Amari Bell, they're all in there looking to see what they can get on the end of here. The corner comes in. It's just headed away by Dalot, but only as far as Ogbeni. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Ogbeni with a shot. But it's a good save by Andre Onana. Good work by him. And he releases the ball quickly to Scott McTominay. McTominay storming over the halfway line to Garnacho. Garnacho. Ball over to the left-hand side. And he finds Marcus Rashford with Johnny Evans. Evans to Dalot. Dalot just dropped the ball back there to Rafael Varane. Varane inside the centre circle as Manchester United try to slow this game right down. Dalot goes right the way back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana, and launches the ball downfield. Just trying to win that ball is Marcus Rashford, but he doesn't. And now here comes Lokonga. And the cross coming in by Ogbeni. It loops up into the air to Carlton Morris and just cleared away that time by Bruno Fernandes. And now Manchester United are away. It's Garnacho. 1-on-1 with Kaminsky. Garnacho, can he punish Kaminsky here? There's a chance he's got an open goal to strike at, and he only fights Kaminsky again. And now he crosses the ball again, does Garnacho. But what a chance for Manchester United to wrap this game up. Oh my goodness me. Garnacho was through round the goalkeeper, and then he didn't shoot, and there was a couple of men on the line, and when he did get the shot, he only got the shot into Thomas Kaminsky. Well, Garnacho looking rather shocked at that because he was away. He was onside. And you can see here, if you're watching the pictures, he goes round the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper gets an important touch there, Kaminsky, and he gets a shot away. First of all, it was blocked by Bell, and then by, but you can see here Garnacho around the goalkeeper. It was an important touch by Kaminsky, actually. Touched by Bell and Kaminsky, and well, that was a vital challenge because that looked for all the world like it might be 3-1. They've had some pretty good chances in the second half, Manchester United themselves, and there's been a substitution. Woodrow and Chung are off for Luton Town, and Townsend and Clark on. So Woodrow and Chung are off, and Clark and Townsend are on. The double substitution for Luton, and perhaps they're just looking to some creativity and some striking capability for Luton to try to get the game-tying goal here. And the ball is now back with Thomas Kaminsky. He gives the ball to Osho, Gabriel Osho. Forward to Doherty. Doherty gives the ball to Bell, and it's flicked on by Carlton Morris back to Bell. And Bell just tries to find Carlton Morris again. And Morris is surrounded by a couple of Manchester United players. He tries to get the shot away, but it's blocked and just won there by Barkley. And back to Bell. And it looks like it's just tried to be won again there by Andros Townsend. But it's now back with Osho. And Osho gives the ball to Mendy, to Townsend, wearing the number 30 today. Gives the ball to Albert Sambi Lokonga. Now to Ogbeni. Down the right-hand side, he's got a couple of Manchester United players in front of him. They're doubling up on Ogbeni. Ogbeni drops the ball back to Sambi Lokonga, back to Mengi, and back to Lokonga. And again, with Amari Bell, as Luton patiently building up, looking for chances. Lokonga gives the ball to Doherty, and now finds Ross Barkley. He scuttles away, he goes down into the challenge. No free kick awarded. Albert Sambi Lokonga launches the ball towards Ogbeni, but that's comfortably won back by Victor Lindelof, and he gives it back to the goalkeeper as another attack breaks down for Luton. And here is Bruno Fernandes. He gives the ball there to Garnacho. He gives the ball back to Fernandes. Finds Rashford down the left-hand side. Rashford, corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Foul there by Andros Townsend. And it's going to be a free kick. And within a minute or two of coming on, Andros Townsend picks up the second yellow card for Luton in this game, and it's going to be a free kick for the Red Devils with 20 minutes to go. Benny and Townsend just having a conversation. The free kick is down the down the left-hand side, corner of the penalty area, only a few yards out. It's definitely Bruno Fernandes' territory. Question is whether or not he's going to shoot or swing the ball into the box. We're going to see now. Fernandes standing over the ball, and the referee David Coote just trying to get his side over. It's Fernandes with a shot, and a good save by Thomas Kaminsky. Just gets up and picks the ball away, but only as far as Mainu. Kobe Mainu now. Oh, and he's fouled that time, and the play goes on, and it's Rashford into the penalty area down the right-hand side to Garnacho. Garnacho moves into the middle, and it's backheeled by Kobe Mainu to Garnacho, and the shot takes a deflection and goes wide as Garnacho looks frustrated to the heavens. How close he's come today for a goal of his own. This one just taking a deflection, and it looks like it's a deflection from Albert Sambi Lokonga, who's been really quite magnificent today for Luton Town. As we go inside the last 20 of this game, and it's a fifth corner for Manchester United, and it's going to be Bruno Fernandes down the right-hand side. As Luton just have to mark up very carefully here. Fernandes outswings the ball, the heads go up, but it only finds Andros Townsend, and Andros Townsend is fouled by Rafael Varane, and the free kick needs to be taken quickly, as Andros Townsend is looking at the referee to take more action. And it's now with Ross Barkley in the centre circle. Barkley plays the ball across to Townsend. Townsend drops it down to Ogbeni down the right-hand side. Back to Townsend. 18 minutes to go here. Albert Sambi-Lokonga. And he gives the ball there to Amari Bell. Not to Amari Bell, rather to Gabriel Osho, who gives the ball to Mengi. Mengi back to Osho. Osho just checking what options he's got available, and he just slips the ball there to Jordan Clark. Gets involved in the game for the first time today, as Mengi plays the ball down the left-hand side to Alfie Doherty. Doherty swings a dangerous cross in, but once again, nobody on the back post gambling, and it just goes behind for a goal kick as Doherty looks frustrated, as there is Rob Edwards. He's got to be wondering where this equalising goal is going to come from. Well, both sides have made 3 substitutes in this game so far. Manchester United have one other opportunity. I should say 2 substitutes for Luton, but Manchester United have one other opportunity, and up to 5 substitutes as a whole. Luton, of course, have 2 more opportunities, and again up to 5 substitutes as a whole. So it's now with the goalkeeper Andre Onana. He gives it to Bruno Fernandes. It's now Dalla who plays the ball forward, and flicked on there by Rasmus Højlund, but it goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski. And, that's a crunching challenge there on Andros Townsend, Johnny Evans, and it's going to be a free kick. And Albert Sambi-Lokonga takes it quickly, gives the ball to Townsend. And just across there to Ogbene. Ogbene looking for options available. He gives the ball to Townsend. Luton, patient build-up. Lokonga. Osho inside the centre circle, across the halfway line now. Osho gives the ball to Ogbene. And it's with Mengi. Mengi back to Osho. Osho just looking for options available here. Osho, he just gives the ball to Ogbene. Ogbene has Townsend overlapping, but he gives the ball back to Osho. And Manchester United making a bit of a haulix of clearing that. And it goes back to Raphael Varane. And Raphael Varane gives the ball to Dallo, who launches the ball forward. Chasing this one, though, across to meet Rasmus Højlund is Amari Bell, and wins the ball back for Luton very impressively there. Here's Jordan Clark. Clark now, an inspired run by Clark, and is he fouled there? It is, and it's going to be a yellow card. And the yellow card is going to go to Kobe Mainu for that challenge. That was a really inspired run by Jordan Clark there. And in the end, had to be challenged and fouled by Kobe Mainu, who pays for it with the 4th yellow card of the game for Manchester United. We've had 6 yellow cards in total. And the free kick is now going to be taken. It's in a dangerous position. It's only about 22, 23 yards out. And in the wall there is Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Mainu, and Alexander Garnacho as they work out some kind of a wall. Alfie Doherty and Ross Barkley are standing over this. And it's going to be finally Rashford and Mainu in the wall. Now, this looks like Alfie Doherty is going to swing this one in as Ross Barkley has moved away. It's more towards the corner of the penalty area down the left-hand side. Alfie Doherty looks like he's going to swing this one in. He does towards the back post, and it's headed out by Johnny Evans, but only as far as Andros Townsend. Gives the ball to Ogbene. Can he get across in Ogbene? Yes, he can. It's headed on by Morris. It drops to Osho and almost goes in, but it rolls across the face of the goal before Onana just falls on it. As Luton come once again very close to equalising. The shot by Ogbene, and it took a couple of deflections. The final one off Bruno Fernandes, and it just falls very kindly for Manchester United. Not so kindly for Luton, and the ball is cleared downfield by the goalkeeper Andre Onana. Comes all the way back to Raphael Varane, and back to Onana again. Onana just clears the ball now to Mainu. And here is Rafael Varane as Manchester United just trying to keep possession now. You're listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. And Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners, JB Sports, Focus on Football and Storm FM. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Commentary Hub. So here is Jordan Clark now down the left-hand side for Luton. Oh, he tried to play the ball to Doherty, but that's good reading by Rafael Varane. And Manchester United can come forward now. And the ball is played forward to Marcus Rashford. He's got Garnacho ahead of him. Garnacho, he's got McTominay by the far post. He chooses to find Højlund with a shot and a good save. That's a good stop by the goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski, as they look to find Rasmus Højlund looking for his first Premier League hat-trick. But it falls apart for him there. And now Ross Barkley gives the ball to Albert Sambi Lokonga. Lokonga gives the ball to Ogbeni. Ogbeni, long cross, but once again, nobody there for Luton. Just goes behind for a goal kick. As I will give Ross my player of the match in about 6 minutes' time. As that ball played through to Garnacho, he was onside. Real opportunity for Højlund there, but that's a good save by Kaminski as we look at that again. Garnacho just pulled it back to Højlund. That's a really, really big save by Thomas Kaminski. And here's Mainu now on the halfway line. He drops the ball back to Johnny Evans. Back to Mainu. He lays it off to Diogo Dalla. Plays the ball forward to Rasmus Højlund again, who's been brilliant in this game today. And Marcus Rashford just drops it back to Diogo Dalla. And back to Kobe Mainu, who is fouled, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. About 5 yards inside their own half of the field. It's taken quickly by Varane, who's looking for McTominay. McTominay just trying to get through there, but he's fouled. It looks like he's fouled Albert Sambi Lokonga. And he has gone down under the challenge by Scott McTominay. And looked like he landed on his head. That was rather unfortunate for Lokonga. And it's going to be a free kick though. We have the stoppage in play. As you just wonder whether Luton, despite all the chances that they've had, they don't appear to be any closer to levelling this game. I think Rob Edwards can take a lot from the way that they've played, but so far they have not been able to get that vital second goal that they need. Kaminski. Oh, tried a dangerous one in beating Rasmus Højlund there. And it's now with Lokonga. Plays the ball to Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark plays the ball to Alfie Doherty, who moves from the left-hand side into the middle, but he is offside. And we're going to get a free kick now to Manchester United with 10 minutes to go, as we are in the last stretch of this game at Kenilworth Road. Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. And Dallo has gone all the way back to Andre Onana as it's game management time for Manchester United. Cleared downfield, that ball is won by Mengi, who finds Ogbeni. Ogbeni is dispossessed by Lindelof, but it's been won back. And Luton can come forward now with Andros Townsend down the right-hand side. Andros Townsend, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side, gives it to Albert Sambi Lokonga with a shot. And it's just over the crossbar. It was an ambitious effort, and a yellow card has been flashed in the way of Victor Lindelof, possibly for that challenge on Mengi. Indeed it was. So Victor Lindelof on the 81st minute. It's the 5th Manchester United player in David Coote's notebook today, as Alfie Doherty goes off and he is replaced. Let's have a look who that is. It is Luke Berry. So Doherty, who's worked hard today, played very well for Luton, has gone off and he has been replaced by Luke Berry, who's wearing number 8, which is the 3rd substitution for Luton Town in this game, as we take another look at Harry Styles, as if we're interested. The ball is played forward there and won by Johnny Evans. Vince will get another opportunity. And it's now with Ogbeni for Luton Town. Ogbeni, midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. Oh, he gets away from Lindelof. Can he get the cross in, Ogbeni? He does, but unfortunately for him, Andre Onana is there to put that ball out the air, and he's released it quickly. But that's well read by Omari Bell, who stops the ball going through to Marcus Rashford. And here's Kobe Mainoo. And it's now with Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes again, he drops the ball back here to Diogo Dalot. And it's now with Rashford. Rashford plays the ball forward looking for Højlund, but good work by Mengi. Gets ahead of Højlund, then gives the ball back to Kaminski, and I'm not sure that was the wisest ball back there to Mengi. But it's now on the right hand side now with Chidozie Ogbeni, and Ogbeni lays it off for Andros Townsend as Luton get down the right flank again and trying to create another opportunity. Corner of the penalty area for Ogbeni. He gives the ball to Townsend. Townsend swings that one in there, but the header is away by Johnny Evans, and it's picked up by Rasmus Højlund, who's worked so hard today. And it's now with Mengi. Mengi gives the ball back to Townsend, edge of the penalty area, right hand side. Townsend moves into the middle, gets a shot, it takes a deflection, and it's going to be another corner to Luton as they continue to knock on the door. And this Kenilworth Road crowd getting behind the Hatters as they try to force an equaliser here. There is 7 minutes left. It's Luton Town 1, Manchester United 0. And we're just going to see in a moment this corner coming in, and Rasmus Højlund looks exhausted, and well he might. He's had a really wonderful game today. And the corner is going to be swung in by Luke Berry, and right in the 6-yard box, headed away by Johnny Evans. He's done so well since he's come on in the second half. Here's Carlton Morris now, right hand side, corner in the penalty area to Ogbeni. Ogbeni, can he get another cross in? He decides to pull it back here to Carlton Morris. He swings it in, but it's headed out by Rafael Varane. And here is Garnacho. Garnacho, he was looking for Marcus Rashford, but it was intercepted by Albert Sambi-Lokonga, and he turns away from Garnacho, and Garnacho gives the ball to Andros Townsend. Townsend down the right flank to Ogbeni. Ogbeni cuts inside. Can he get the cross away in Ogbeni? He tries to shoot Ogbeni, and he goes over the crossbar. Worth the effort, and he cleared the crossbar, not by a great deal either. But it does mean another chance goes begging, as Manchester United are going to take off Rasmus Højlund, who's had a really wonderful game today, and he goes off to rapturous applause from the Manchester United fans, and on comes Sofyan Amrabat. And that will complete the substitutes for Manchester United now, as they've had 3 opportunities. And Sofyan Amrabat is on. We've got 5 minutes to go here. I am just going to type my player of the match to my producer Ross while we've got a slight stoppage in play. All right, Ross, there you go. Player of the match. Let me know when you're ready. And it's cleared by Andre Onana downfield, and Amari Bell just picks up the ball here. Midway inside his own half of the field, he may choose to go back to Kaminski here. It's certainly the safest option. Kaminski picks up the ball inside the 18-yard box and clears it downfield. And it's just laid off there by Carlton Morris. And here's Ross Barkley. Overlapping here is Amari Bell. This is good work from Bell in an advanced position. He's got Jordan Clark alongside him and also Carlton Morris, but he played it into the middle, and Rafael Varane just clears that ball comfortably. And Rasmus Højlund is away, Marcus Rashford is away. And, there's going to be a yellow card given here to Gabriel Osho for the foul on Marcus Rashford. And on 86 minutes, that's the 3rd Luton Town player that's gone into David Coote's notebook. And actually, the way I see it, that is 8 yellow cards that David Coote has shown today. offside for Manchester United, free for Luton. As it's a free kick midway inside the Luton Town half, down the right-hand side, which Bruno Fernandes will take, as he's going to swing this one in as we enter into the last 3 minutes of the game here. Bruno Fernandes swings it in. Just trying to win that header is Osho, and he only gets it as far as Garnacho. But it's a foul by Rafael Varane on Osho, and it's going to be a free kick. I'm going to announce my player of the match on round about the 89th minute, depending on stoppages and what have you. And that's when I will reveal the player of the match for today, sponsored by Commentary Services. Albert Sambi-Lokonga gives it back to Kaminski, and Kaminski's ball is terrible, and it's Bruno Fernandes inside the penalty area, right-hand side, gets it shot away, and it just pulls wide of Thomas Kaminski's goal. And, well, what an opportunity. It's another poor clearance by Kaminski. Gets into the penalty area, right-hand side. Kaminski is beaten all ends up, but just clears the post. That would have been 3-1, and that would have been game over. Here's Amari Bell now. Gives the ball to the goalkeeper, Thomas Kaminski, looking for a better clearance this time. He goes long, looking for Carlton Morris, who just chests the ball down to Andros Townsend. Townsend just tries to get away from Rafael Varane, and he gets away from Kobe Mainoo. Gives it to Ogbeni. Ogbeni swings the ball into the box, and it's headed out again by Johnny Evans. He's been like a rock since he's come on for Manchester United. And there's Marcus Rashford. He plays the ball now to Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho trying to play the ball in the middle there, looking for Johnny Evans, but Johnny Evans was not able to get on the end of that one, and Johnny Evans in a very advanced position. It's now with Osho, and Osho tries to play the ball forward looking for Jordan Clark. It's more like a hospital pass there, but Jordan Clark manages to win the ball and Sambi Lokonga. Well, Lokonga just plays the ball forward, and it finds Ogbeni now down the right-hand side. We go into the last minute, and the ball is played forward here to Luke Berry. Berry tries to find Townsend, but he only manages to find Lindelof, who plays the ball, but Lindelof can only find Ogbeni. Laid off by Jordan Clark, back to Ogbeni, and it's now back with Ross Barkley. Barkley, can he turn and get the shot away? He doesn't. He gives the ball back to Osho, and it's now with Amari Bell down the left-hand side. Amari Bell tries to get the cross in, but that's good defending by Diogo Dalla, and it's going to be a corner, I think. Yes, it is. Going to take it on the far side is Luke Berry, and it's going to be swung in here by Luke Berry. Carlton Morrison's in there, just waiting for another opportunity to grab an equaliser. And the corner is going to be swung in, and it's just headed away, but only as far as Ogbeni. Ogbeni, just Sofyan Amrabat gets in the way of Ogbeni there. We have 4 minutes stoppage time. The next stoppage in play, I'll announce the player of the match, and that's going to be now because the ball is out of play off Ogbeni. But it's taken quickly. I'm sorry, we'll have to wait till the next one. It's back to Ogbeni again, and now with Amari Bell. Amari Bell finds Osho. And it's now with Ross Barkley. We'll get the player of the match here in just a moment. Ross Barkley, just looking for options available. He's trying to get away from Rashford. Barkley's still going, and nobody's really challenged him. And here's Albert Sambi-Lokonga. He's played the ball there to Jordan Clark. Jordan Clark forced outside the penalty area by Safran Amrabat, and it's going to be another corner. So let's quickly announce the player of the match. The player of the match today, sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Rasmus Højlund, not just for his 2 goals, but for his tireless work ethic throughout the game. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Manchester United's number 11, Rasmus Højlund. The corner comes in, and it's headed out there, but again by by Diogo Dalla this time. It's now Ogbeni again down the right-hand side. Another challenge, this time by Diogo Dalla again, and it's going to be a corner to Luton Town. We are inside injury time now. It's there's 4 minutes, and this is the 7th Luton corner. Well, it's going to be swung in here. and it's headed away again by Johnny Evans. And it's just won there by Bruno Fernandes, who gives it to Garnacho. And Garnacho's away down the left-hand side. Garnacho, he slips it to Bruno Fernandes. And he gets it back to Garnacho. Can he wrap the game up here? No, it's a fine challenge by Amari Bell. And Manchester United now will get the corner and a chance to waste some precious seconds. A little flick through and again by Rashford. And a fine challenge by, once again, Albert Sambi-Lokonga, who I have to say was very close to getting the player of the match as well. And he gets an honourable mention. But it's going to be a corner to Manchester United, which Bruno Fernandes will take. And he'll probably play it short to Sofian Amrabat, and they'll waste some seconds in the corner. But here's Bruno Fernandes now, breaks away, gets the cross in, and it's won by it's picked up by Thomas Kaminski. And Kaminski just plays the ball downfield. And it's now with Ogbene. Ogbene plays it down the left-hand side to Jordan Clark. It's now or never for Luton. Jordan Clark, corner in the penalty area, left-hand side. And it's picked up by Ross Barkley on the edge of the area. Barkley gives the ball to Ogbene. Ogbene gets the cross in, and it takes a deflection off Dalla and goes behind for another Luton corner as we are inside the last minute here at Kenilworth Road, the last minute of injury time. There may be some additional time that David Coote may add on as a complimentary, well, not really complimentary, more of, if you will, assorted time added on. It's going to be swung in now by Luke Berry. It's flicked on and hits a crossbar! Ross Barkley! Oh, comes so close for equalising for Luton. He flicks it on. It loops over the head of Onana and lands on the top of the crossbar. Oh, how close can you get for Luton? This is the fine margins. The ones that go for you if you're higher in the table, and the ones that go against you if you're closer to the bottom. But my goodness me, it just landed on top of the crossbar. And Luton, well, it maybe is not going to be their day. It's cleared downfield by Andre Onana. We've played the 4 minutes. We're just waiting for David Coote's whistle now. And the ball is played across there to Jordan Clark. Maybe one last opportunity for Luton. Jordan Clark gets in the penalty area. Left-hand side, plays the ball across. And Johnny Evans just gets a touch. And it's cleared, but only as far as Benny on the edge of the area before Safran Amrabat just clears the ball downfield. And it's full time at Kenilworth Road. Manchester United hold on to a 2-1 victory. All the goals coming in the first 15 minutes. 2 from Rasmus Højlund, 1 on the first and 1 on the 6th. And a goal back on the 14th minute by Carlton Morris. But in an ill-tempered game where the referee has had to show 8 yellow cards, it finishes here at Kenilworth Road. Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. And what a game it was at Kenilworth Road this afternoon. Luton Town puffed. Luton Town puffed. And Luton Town almost got an equaliser late on. Rasmus Højlund could have had an hat-trick in the game. A shot saved in the second half by Thomas Kaminski in goal for Luton Town. And should have wrapped up the games as well with Alejandro Garnacho amongst those players going closest to get on the score sheet as well. But it wasn't to be for Manchester United to get the third and make sure of the points. It wasn't to be for Luton to make sure they got anything out of the game. Before we pitch in Paul James in just a few moments, we'll just quickly go and round up a few of the other scores taking place today across some of the major leagues in Europe and also across in Saudi Arabia as well, so we can bring you those right now. So starting off in the Women's Super League. West Ham Albion 0, Liverpool 1. Everton 2, West Ham United 0. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Aston Villa 2. Leicester City 5, Bristol City 2. Women's Championship. London City Lionesses 2, Durham 2. Sunderland 4, Lewes 3. Birmingham City 1, Southampton 2. Crystal Palace 4, Blackburn Rovers 0. French League On. Strasbourg 1, Lorient 3. Monaco 1, Toulouse 2. Montpellier 3, Metz 0. Rennes 3, Clermont 1. Reims 1, Lens 1. German Bundesliga. Freiburg 3, Frankfurt 3. Bochum 3, FC Bayern Munich 1. Latest score there after 80 minutes. Italian Serie A. Lazio 1, Bologna 2. Empoli 1, Fiorentina 1. Udinese 1, Cagliari 1. 6-7 minutes on the clock is Cremonese 0, AS Roma 1. 7:45 kickoff for Monza against AC Milan. In the Dutch Eredivisie, FC Twente 0, Utrecht 1. Ajax 2, NEC Nijmegen 2. Matisse Arnhem 1, FC Volendam 1. Feyenoord 1, RKC Waalwijk 0. Scottish Premiership. St Johnstone 0, Rangers 3. Spanish La Liga. Rayo Vallecano 1, Real Madrid 1. Granada 1, Almeria 1. Half-time scores Real Mallorca 1, Real Sociedad 1. Real Betis against Alaves with an 8 o'clock kick-off. Saudi Professional League. Al Hilal 3, Al Riyadh 1. Al Ittihad 1, Al Wahida 0 is the latest score after 67 minutes. May have noticed I've mentioned the Premier League results from today, but before we finish, we'll recap all the scores from the Premier League's action, not just today, but also yesterday, just before we finish up this evening. And I'm glad to say, after I've gone through all those scores, right now I've got my good friend and the man who did the excellent commentary this afternoon, Paul James, back with us. And Paul, what a fantastic game we've witnessed today. And kind of throughout, Luton unlucky not to get a point out of the game with the chances that they had, and some good saves forced out of Andre Onana. Manchester United had some good efforts as well. Garnacho, to name one. Oiling should have had a Nacho before he'd come off as well. Manchester United should have sealed the win as well, but Luton should have got a point. Overall, I think probably over the balance of play, I'll probably say the draw would probably been a fair result in my opinion. Paul, would you agree with that?
I think the way Luton played, you might argue that they'd be worthy of a draw, but they haven't taken the chances, Ralph, and they've had a few of them. For me, I think they desperately needed points from today's game, and now they're looking over the shoulder because Everton have Crystal Palace tomorrow at home. So that will be a hell of an important game for Luton and for Crystal Palace and for Everton and Nottingham Forest even, because despite their 2-0 win yesterday, they're still going to be looking over their shoulders. I think, to be honest with you, I think if you look at the balance of play, yes, Luton probably at least deserved a draw, but if you don't take your chances, you don't deserve anything.
Yes, and also, Paul, you named Rasmus Højlund, your player of the match today, got 2 goals today as well. Should have had an hat-trick before he got substituted for Sofian Amrabat. A fantastic save from Thomas Kaminski. Should have either side of him and he would have scored, but instead he hit it straight at the Luton goalkeeper. Other than his 2 goals today, and I know you mentioned some of his work rate, what else impressed you the most in Højlund's game today, which is why he made him stand out amongst other players?
His positioning. He was getting himself into really good positions where he could put himself about and get goals and get opportunities. If you look at the second goal, he's got away from his marker there, from Garnacho's shot that then deflects off his chest and goes in. It was a very hard choice. I nearly gave it to Albert Sambi-Lokonga because I think he's played very well as well. I think he's been very impressive for Luton. Was at the beginning of a lot of what was created that was good for Luton today, and of course made some vital challenges at the back as well. It was. I was very close to giving it to Lokonga, to be honest. But in the end, Rasmus Højlund deserves it. He's made the biggest impact on the game, and I think he's done very, very well. And I think at the moment Manchester United have a gem in him. I think he's just going to go from strength to strength and score more goals.
Yes, and I just want to touch on how you felt that Luton did. Obviously, lost today 2-1 to Manchester United. But when in terms of the reason behind the question is they had to make a late change in the team with Colin Woodrow coming in because of an injury to Elijah Adebayo in the warm-up. And so they had to adjust to that 10 minutes before, 20 minutes before kick-off when it happened in the warm-up. How do you think with that late change, Luton did today in the game?
Look, Rob Edwards has got an enormous amount of positives to take from this game. An enormous amount of positives. The build-up play was good. They worked hard defensively. They went 2-0 down, and they didn't have the leading scorer Elijah Adebayo, and they just came back into it with the first goal. Yes, they probably should have had more, and they didn't take their chances. But I think Rob Edwards can take an awful lot from this game today. Luton looked very, very good. I mean, if there's any of the teams that have come up from the Championship last season that's going to stay up, it's going to be Luton. Burnley and Sheffield United are finished in terms of that. But Luton have a chance with the way that they're playing, the fight that they're showing that we've not seen at Burnley, and we haven't really seen it at Sheffield United either. We certainly haven't seen it at Burnley, but we also haven't seen it really at Sheffield United either. So I think Luton has still got a lot to fight for, and for them, they'll be very happy with that performance.
Yes, sir. One player along with Samuel Lakonga, as you mentioned today, who was up there for your player of the match. Another one who impressed me today for Luton Town, and I'm not just saying this because he played for my hometown club and a fan and was a fan's favourite of the hometown club as well, and one I got on really well with. But I thought Ogbeni did a really good shift today, not just up against Luke Shaw, but up against Victor Lindelof as well. I think both Shaw and Lindelof had a really tough time up against Ogbeni down that right hand side, and Chong at times when Chong was on that right hand side as well.
Yeah, I think the issue with Ogbeni was, yes, he was certainly causing a threat down that right hand side. I just felt the final ball for Ogbeni wasn't there for much of the game. I thought he played very well. He was a threat, but I think just his final ball was lacking. But he made life hard work for Luke Shaw and Victor Lindelof.
Yeah, and I just want to touch upon a Manchester United player, Paul, before we do wrap up and give everybody the scores from the Premier League this weekend so far, with one game to go in the Premier League. But just want to touch on Casemiro. Got substituted at half time after picking up a yellow card in the first half. Some of his other challenges, which followed after picking up that yellow card, could have resulted in a second yellow, especially one where they gave a free kick. I think it was about 5 minutes after, about 5 or 6 minutes after his first yellow card. And it was, in my opinion, with some of the challenges I went in, even after getting the yellow card, before he got substituted at half time, and even before he picked up that first yellow card, I felt he could have had a yellow card a lot sooner, as well as the one he got when he did. And then he could have had one after. I was surprised that he wasn't sent off in the game today, and got rather than being substituted at half time. With Casemiro, did you feel some of his challenges after already on the booking on before that, whether you have yellow cards? Because there were some which I know a lot of fans of Luton and some fans of Manchester United, from what we're reading on social media during the first half and during the second half when I was looking, felt that Casemiro very lucky not to stay on the pitch for as long as he did and be actually substituted at half time. What did you make to Casemiro's performance, especially after getting that booking with the challenges they were putting in prior and after picking up the yellow card today?
Yeah, he was lucky to be on the field. He was very lucky to be on the field, and I said before half time that it might be wise to substitute him. And they had options on the bench. They had two really good options on the bench. They had Scott McTominay and they had Christian Eriksen. So I think Erik ten Hag made the smart decision of substituting Casemiro at half time. I felt that was the right decision. He wasn't that effective in the game anyway, and he was at risk of going down to 10 men. The next challenge he'd been off. The next challenge that went wrong for Casemiro, he would have been off, I think.
Yeah, and also, Paul, I know you mentioned a couple of players there who, one that came on for him in Scott McTominay, and you mentioned Christian Eriksen as ideal replacements for Casemiro, but another one who came on a bit later on, who could have come on and done a similar job to what McTominay did when he come on, and what Casemiro doing, minus the fouls from Casemiro. It was something Amrabat, because he plays that similar sort of role to Casemiro, what he does for Manchester United, for Morocco, Amrabat, and he's emulated that at Manchester United when he's played this season before his injury. I was surprised that Amrabat didn't come on a lot sooner, maybe because he's just come back from injury, just wanted to give him a little bit today, a little bit next week, a little bit week after, to build his sharpness up. But I was surprised he didn't come on at half time to build his sharpness up a bit more, maybe play 45 minutes or come on at half time. I know he came on late on for Rasmus Højlund in the, I think it was in the 86th minute. Maybe it could only last 4 minutes, or because how the game was going, you want to give him that many minutes. I thought McTominay would have been better, but Amrabat's done a really good job in there as well, which I was surprised he didn't go to him a lot sooner, because he's done a decent job in that defensive midfield role when he's played there for Manchester United.
Yeah. I think the decision to bring McTominay on was the correct one. McTominay is the leading scorer for Manchester United right now, so it was obvious for me at least that he was going to go for that option. I think, given the fact that Manchester United had blown a few chances in the second half, Garnacho had let a few go. It's for me, it was they needed something in the second half to extend the lead. They were not able to do that. Manchester United missed a couple of really good chances as well. So, I mean, really was a game of missed chances.
It was indeed, Paul. It was indeed. Thank you very much for your contribution today. Thanks to our listeners for their contribution as well. Just before we do go, then we'll wrap up with the scores from the Premier League in just a second. So what we'll just do, there's still some games taking place in the leagues, which we mentioned a few moments ago. Into stoppage time now in the German Bundesliga. It's currently Bochum 3, Bayern Munich 2 now. Game on in that game, Bayern Munich down to 10 men as well. And just for any Bayern Munich fans listening to this right now, the man who was sent off was Deat Upamecano, who was booked in the first half for a foul on 39 minutes. He was then shown a second yellow for elbowing and was sent off in the 78th minute. Jamal Musiala scored for Bayern to put them 1-0 before Asano and Schlotterbeck put Bochum 2-1 up at half time. Bochum then went 3-1 up through Steiger from the penalty spot on the 78th minute. And in the 87th minute, Harry Kane pulled one back for Bayern. They're into the third minute of 8 minutes added on in the game between Bochum and Bayern. Bochum leading Bayern by 3-2 there. There was into around about 10 minutes left to play. It's Frosinone 0, AS Roma 2 in Italian Serie A. And in the Saudi Pro League on 79 minutes, it's Al Ittihad 1, Al Riyadh 0. Is the latest score. And just gone into the second half. 2 minutes gone in the second half is Mallorca 1, Real Sociedad 1 in the Spanish La Liga. Let's just round up the Premier League scores then for today. Brentford 1, Liverpool 4. This is from Saturday for this weekend so far. Burnley 0, Arsenal 5. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 2. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 1. Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 2. Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham United 0. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Sunday's matches. Sheffield United 0, Brighton Hove Albion 5. And the game you've just listened to, Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2. Monday Night Football this week sees Everton take on Crystal Palace at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. So that is just the scores for you on the doors there. The game is still being played out in Germany. Thank you to those who have listened today. But just before we do go, we'll just let you know what the table looks like now at the top and the bottom end of the table. So Liverpool remain top of the Premier League on 57 points, 2 points clear of Arsenal, and 4 clear now of Manchester City. Aston Villa are 4th on 49 points. They're 2 points clear of Spurs, who are in 5th on 47, and they are 5 points clear of Manchester United, who are into 6th place on 44 points. All the Red Devils following their 2-1 win over Luton Town this afternoon. Brighton are in 7th after their 5-0 win over Sheffield United. They move above Newcastle by a point. They're on 38 points. Newcastle in 8th on 37. West Ham are in 9th on 36 points, with Chelsea on 35 points and sitting 10th place in the Premier League table. Now into the bottom half of the table, just Wolves are 11th on 35 points. Fulham are in 12th on 29. Bournemouth are in 13th on 28. Brentford are in 14th on 25. Nottingham Forest are in 15th on 24. Crystal Palace, who take on Everton tomorrow, are in 16th on 24. Luton Town are just outside the relegation zone on 20 points. They will drop into the bottom 3 should Everton, who sit in 18th place on 19 points, get a win over Crystal Palace. Burnley sit in 19th on 13 points, and Sheffield United, bottom of the Premier League, on 13 points. Remember, Everton deducted 10 points for breaching P&S rules. There's going to be an hearing regarding that 10-point deduction soon. Going to be some point this month, they said. So hopefully in the next few days or so. And then there's another charge for Everton and a charge for Nottingham Forest, where they could lose more points, where both Everton could lose some more points and Nottingham Forest could lose some points as well for breaching those there. So big thank you to Paul James for his excellent coverage this afternoon. Thank you very much. With that, Paul, who is a follower of Bayern Munich, says Tuchel, he reckons Tuchel is going to get sacked in the morning. And he also says, Dert Upamecano, and this is something which we do not promote here on the commentary of our commentary up to JB Sports Focus on Football on my own personal Twitch channel, which is Russ P. Vernon _92. Dert Upamecano has received some brutal racial abuse online recently as well. So anyone who's doing that, not welcome in this form of life. You're not welcome on these platforms as well. Welcome in form of any form of life, definitely not in football. And hopefully the authorities find out who you are and you get locked up. Disgusting to hear that from Dert, from what's been happening to Dert Upamecano at Bayern Munich. Just before we do go then, just to tell you, in that game between Bochum and Bayern Munich is still being played right now in the games in the game in the Bundesliga. We are into 97th minute and it's still 3-2 to Bochum against Bayern Munich. Bochum just holding the ball up well in the corner. So that looks like it's going to be a full-time score for Bochum, who look like they're going to be beating Bayern Munich by 3-2 in the Bundesliga today. So big thank you then to Paul James for his excellent work on commentary. As always, big thank you to you, our listeners, for listening to the coverage as well. And also a big thank you to those who listen back to the coverage or follow us on Twitter and Facebook or Facebook. So from everybody at the commentary hub, we thank you very much for listening. More than the team here is a very goodbye to you all.